Welcome to Windy Hill for the pro football game between Essendon and St Kilda. My name's Ray White, in the commentary box with me is former Hawthorn captain Don Scott. Welcome, Don.
Good, thanks, Ray. And in charge today we've got Dora and Howlett, the umpires. We get underway here as nobody really can get the ball. Clark in there for Essendon, number 8. Can't get the ball out, and as usual it stacks on the mill. Well,
Don, for viewers not familiar for the Essendon ground, the right of the screen is called the Napier Street end, and that's the end that St Kilda's kicking to, and the left of the screen is called the school end, and that's the end the Bombers are kicking to. Don?
Well, the conditions here, Ray, are well, they're not too bad for football, really. And look at the back there is Lockett. What a magnificent mark. I was just saying that the wind is probably favouring the end that Essendon is kicking to, but the way the ball was kicked in there, and it really didn't hold up, and Lockett took a very good mark. Now St Kilda have the chance to score. The first score of the game, Lockett on an acute angle, only 30 metres out from goal. Drop punt on its way. Just wait on the umpire. Did it float? It did. It floated across the face of goal. So that's the first score of the game. 1 point to St Kilda from Tony Lockett.
Well, actually, Don, Essendon being called Windy Hill, it's a fairly light wind today for this ground because sometimes it can blow a gale as Billy Duckworth sends it out to the centre of the ground. Coming across to Spencer, and I think you'll find Trevor Spencer will be paid a free kick. Looking for the handball, slips over at the wrong time, gets it to Tony Elshaw, and Elshaw swings on the left foot and sends it up to the half-forward line, and the Bombers into attack for the first time. Roger Merritt couldn't get it. Coming through was Baker, the hand pass. St Kilda couldn't trap it. Clark coming in as big side bottom, and players will fall on top of it and will be a bounce. Well, what do you think of the crowd, Don? How many would be here, would you feel?
Well, it certainly built up, Ray. I would say about 12,000 people. I'm not very good at estimating crowds, and it's very hard at this Essendon ground because there seems to be little pockets of people everywhere. But
well, the majority of them are on this side where the commentary box is, Don, and that's where all the Essendon members sit. So I suppose we'll know when Essendon kick a goal and when St Kilda kick a goal. So Roger Merritt, and a little pass, and he's found coming out. I think you'll find that's David Flood playing his first game from up in the Wimmera, Essendon's recruiting ground, and this young fella, Kevin Sheedy, has big raps for young Flood, and he is going for his first kick in league football, which would be, I suppose, any boy's dream is to kick a goal first up. And he steers it right through the middle, and he's kicked his first goal, and Essendon's first goal, and his first kick in league football. So the Bombers go to 1 goal, 6 points, leading St Kilda yet to score.
It's good to see all the Essendon players running up to congratulate young Flood. There's not too many players that have done that, kick with their first goal, first kick in league football, a goal. And we just saw then a good pass from Roger Merritt over to David Flood, and David Flood registered Essendon's first goal, so 6 leading 1 point. Back in the centre here, side bottom, to do the work against Simon Madden. Nobody got that, it came down. Close players jumped into one another. We see number 1 there, Barker, over the top of the ball, and again, seems to be a feature of the play nowadays, another ball up.
Well, certainly, Don, the Bombers will be favourites in this game, I'm sure. Premiers in the last 2 years, and St Kilda being the wooden spoon holders in the last 2 years, but football's a funny game. And Essendon, after having a lot of their players in the State of Origin game on Tuesday night, Don, they might find that a few of them are sore, and they've lost Foles from the original selected side, and it could give St Kilda a bit of a chance.
Well, that's right, Ray, and Essendon into the side, they've made a few changes. Flood, Spencer, Winton and Waterson, whilst out with injury. Danaher, Thompson, Salmons and Foles was a late-minute exclusion. Bailey and Banfield didn't take their places. Back under the ground here, that was a good tackle by young Clark. Ball out on the centre wing there. St Kilda pick it up. Number 51 there is Lamb, the half-back flanker, in towards centre half forward. Players throwing themselves over. Again, it's a scrambling game as Keel gets a handball out. For nobody in particular, it's a good tackle by Baker, Leon Baker, and here will take the free kick for Essendon. Coming into the St Kilda side is Ford. Ford selected at centre half forward to replace the injured Jones, and out go Owen, Cunningham, Cronin, and I just mentioned Jones as Merritt picks up into the centre going towards the half forward flank, and Billy Duckworth taking a good mark for Essendon. Now Essendon start running through Donnell. Donnell, number 7, number made famous by my ex-hero Billy Hutchinson, up towards full forward, and a kick quick off the pack. It's gone straight across the face of goal. Left forward pocket. Essendon kicking to the school end, which is a left-hand end of our screen. St Kilda. Nobody can pick up the ball. Coming there is Rains, number 6, and yes, the umpire gave him reasonable time to play, and well tackled by St Kilda. Keel. Shocking handball, overrunning that was Crawley. 14, Elshaw. Back in David Whitty, another young fellow from Brighton Grammarians. Merritt to Clark. Clark looking down the ground, but there was just St Kilda players everywhere. 32, Andrew Jobling. Ducks around, goes across to face a goal. Change of direction of play, looking out there for Burns. Burns, number 11. Nobody around except Baker. Baker attempts Elphingston, number 33. And the ball on that outer wing. Brian Wood, number 2. Can he get away? Yes, he does. A handball. And across to the running Winton.
And the ex-Richmond footballer, Brian Winton, sends it up there, but coming in and a bit of a clash there, but I think you'll find that young Whitty has taken the mark. Well, he's been a good performer in his first year for St Kilda, and he sends the Saints down to the centre of the ground, but on his own is Simon Madden, and Simon Madden playing his 250th game for the Bombers this year. As he sends it up the centre half forward, Roger Merritt pushing out a bit Crawley, but the Bombers go forward, but coming out the back to clear it is McConville. He shoots it across the wing with Baker chasing it. The St Kilda player couldn't trap it there, was young Jobling, and the ball will be, I'd say, no, it's not. Alanezar, the speedster, streaks away. He's got the goals open, has a little chip shot, and he's offline and through for one behind. So that takes Essendon on the 7-minute mark to 1 goal, 7 points. St Kilda 1 behind at Windy Hill in the pro football game here. So the Bombers, as number 11 for St Kilda is Burns. And the Bombers today actually are going for their 17th consecutive win home here at Windy Hill, a club record. And the last time they were beaten here at Windy Hill was in May 1984 by Footscray. So they've certainly got a very good record, but that may give St Kilda a bit of a chance because of the law of averages would have to give them a go. As Merritt clacks it on, but coming across nicely. And for St Kilda is Burns. Well, crap, a good play from young Spencer. Gets it to Merritt. Merritt to Clark. Stephen Clark, the handball to Neil Clark. He's got a little pass to Harvey. Harvey swings round, straightens up, and puts it through for the Bombers. So the Bombers' second goal on the board. Essendon, 2 goals, 13 points. St Kilda 1 point, and that holds a 12-point lead to the Essendon at Windy Hill. Good play then from the Essendon forward line, Don.
Well, the two Clarks combined there well, and Harvey by himself. He didn't look at goals. He just snapped it, went onto his right foot, snapped quickly towards goal, and it went straight through the centre. That's Harvey's first goal, and Essendon already taking a little grip at this stage as 13 plays 1. Back in the centre. Again, Madden up high into side bottom. No one can pick it up. Coming through is Barker. And Barker will get the free kick, holding the man. Trevor Barker, the St Kilda captain. Not a good kick, goes to centre half forward, and just slipping over. The crucial time was forward, but Whitten took an easy chest mark. Donnell. Another handball. Essendon starting to run the ball. Clark over to Hurd. Hurd back to Whitten, the initiator. Towards centre half forward. A low kick, and Frawley will hold up that Essendon attack. Frawley looking for Rogers. Rogers named in the back pocket. Clark on his mark. Trying to play on. What a shocking handball. Barker, number 1. Looking down the ground, lifted his head, a deliberate kick in towards centre half forward. The pack up, nobody. Over the back is young Peter Budge and goes towards goal, but offline and through for another point. So St Kilda move on, 2 points. Essendon 2-1, 13, and we've played 10 minutes of this first quarter as Walsh kicks out. And who's he found? Duckworth. Bill Duckworth, the back pocket. Good play from Walsh as he starts the running from full back. Smothered, Peter Budge. Quickly onto his left foot, to no one in particular. Running there is Forshini. Coming in is Duckworth, and Duckworth will see the ball over the boundary line in the left forward pocket. St Kilda's left forward pocket.
Well, Essendon holding 11-point here, 11-point advantage at Windy Hill, and you got 31 as forward, the ex-Footscray player. With Simon Madden, the ball goes over the line out of bounds. Actually, Don, a few little comments I heard before the game today that a few of the judges would like to have a couple of dollars here and there and feel that St Kilda could be a little bit of a chance they might pinch this game.
Well, I wouldn't like to be backing them, Ray, I can tell you.
Well, you never know. Footy's a funny old game. Then the Bombers come out. Winton back in his first game for about 3 or 4 weeks. Baker, great play. He left the St Kilda player standing as we got Nobby Clark and Neil Clark. A little chip pass, or could have been the back to Roger Merritt. No, it's Trevor Spencer. and the free kick against young Mark Gamble. Well, Spencer, Essendon have a lot of young players in the side today, but good play is Whitty. And Whitty clears it. Good play, but off line, and will send it over the line and out of bounds to the full. As I was saying, Essendon have quite a few young players in today. Flood, Winton, Spencer, because of the injury situation they have out here at Windy Hill. And I think there's about 9 players from last year's grand final side not playing as Spencer tries to get it back. Wood tries to trap it, comes to the ground. Elphingston, Rains, nearly would have been younger. Taylor could have been given a free then, but St Kilda still trying to work it. Players all falling on top of it. Cleared out there, taken by young Grant, but Winton playing a good game at centre half back. Sends it to the other side, but badly placed. Robert Elphingston, he's got time to put the hand pass, and St Kilda go forward. Clark at the back, taps it down. Duckworth backing up to Donnell. Donnell's got Baker if he wants him, and Baker says thank you. Takes his time on that centre wing. Harvey making the pass, the run back to Baker. Baker straightens up with a lovely pass to Tony Elshaw. Elshaw now goes around the St Kilda play to Hawker. Hawker straightens up and should put it through. Great goal, Essendon, and good fronting play from the Bombers, and they put their 3rd goal on the board. Essendon 3 goals, 1, 19 points, leading St Kilda 2 points, and the Bombers creating a loose man very well then, Don.
Well, it all started up the back there. Clark, who tried to mark over Keel, dropped it, came down to front. Actually, he should have really punched it. Well followed up by Duckworth, and with a series of handballs and short chips, Glenn Hawker registered Essendon's 3rd goal. 3-1-19, St Kilda 2 points, and we've played 12 minutes of this first quarter. The ground in good condition. The ball will get a little bit heavy as the game goes on. Coming through there, and that's a free kick to young Clark, an impressive first-year player from Bulleen Templestowe, if memory serves me correctly.
That's right, Don, and played very well on Tuesday night, I thought.
And has played well all year, actually. Ray has given a lot of zip to this Essendon side, and Clark goes long towards the full forward position. Up high, Merritt in front. Well done, Tony Elshaw. Can't pick it up. Azard quickly onto the boot. Just wait on, and there it is. Another goal to Essendon. Azard's first. So Essendon really taking a hold now. 4-1, 25 to St Kilda's 2 points. And again, we've only played 13 minutes of this first quarter, and Essendon really do look a polished combination. Under a little bit of a cloud, they lost 2 consecutive games earlier, and a lot of people had written Essendon off, but how on earth you can ride a side off that hasn't lost a game since halfway through last year is beyond me.
Well, I think Essendon have had the squeaky clean set up out here. They've never given players away, and this year a little bit of controversy in the last couple of weeks with the ex-Collingwood players Range and Richardson coming in, and the sacking of Bradbury and Carey, and it's created a little bit of mischief in the papers, but the Bombers not looking their trouble at the moment as Harvey. At the back is McConville, but coming around is Tony Elshaw, but just offline. And the danger players at the moment are the runners, the Elshaws, Clark and Ezard are doing a little bit of damage around the forward line, and St Kilda certainly want to tighten up at the moment because the Bombers are starting to get on top very early in this game, and they're 26 points, leading St Kilda 2 points, a 24-point lead. So St Kilda will have to start doing something and start something quickly. As McConville sends it out to centre half-back on the half-back flank. Young Clark again, jobbling out there, chasing it with him. Clark again, players working at the wood. No one can get the play. Coming through is young Peter Budge, and the umpire has decided on a free kick to the St Kilda side. Well, the crowd has built a bit more, Don. There would look like there was not many out there in the outer, but now they're certainly coming in a little bit few more. So I'd say you might find around about 18,000 will settle for this crowd, Don.
Well, in the first quarter, Winton's playing well as he cleared up there towards that centre-half forward position for Essendon. The ball kicked off the ground, leading in the race for the ball there. McConville for Essendon, can't trap it. Ezard quickly onto his foot. And Ezard kicks in the second goal. And Essendon really taking a hold here. 5-2, 32. Kilda 2 solitary points.
Well, Ezard looks like he's just limping a bit there, Don. I don't know if he's hurt his leg, but he's limping away from the trainers are coming up to see if he's okay.
He looks all right.
He's okay, but they're certainly causing a damage to the Essendon runners at the moment.
Well, the goal kickers for Essendon, Ezard has 2 and 1 each to Flood, Hawker and Harvey. Again, back in the centre. Good bounce by the umpire then. Well done, side bottom. Lockett obviously playing further up at centre half forward, gets it across to Odgers, a good player Odgers, underrated, and well down to, that's David Grant, who just couldn't take the mark. Foschini, over to Elphingston, good place in Kilda. Elphingston on the left foot in towards the goal square, anyone there? Nobody there. Off Keel's hands and through for another point. And all St Kilda can seem to do at this stage is register points. It looks like Clark's injured there. Yes, he's not too good behind the goal square, or behind that point post. Bring the ball in, Duckworth. Duckworth going short. Burns over the back, can't pull it in. And again, the umpire will have to come in and ball up. Most important, as this game goes on, the players play in front because the ball will get heavy today. And the ball's not bouncing as high there as we saw. Ford, good play. Ford. Clark, the injured player, picks the ball up onto his left, over to Walsh. Walsh brings it back towards the centre, over the back, Gamble, and that'll be a free kick to Trevor Spencer, the ex-Queenslander. And on the edge of the square, plays on quickly, over to Elshaw. Elshaw, a lot of pace. Nice kick in towards centre half forward, over the top of the pack. Merritt again in front, that's the position to play. Harvey there as well. Really nobody really interested in getting the ball out, and the umpire will have to come in and bounce. Left forward flank for Essendon. He's going to throw it up actually, so that gives you an idea that the ground is not that good as far as bouncing of the ball is concerned. An easy free kick picked out by the umpire, and good decision too to break up play. Gamble, the player from Frankston. His first year, a long kick, and really didn't look for anybody. It just went over the head, headed to the pack. Walsh coming through strongly. Tackle very well done by Ford. Ford, the ex-Footscray player, and playing his first game for St Kilda.
Yes, Kevin Walsh, certainly an improved player and now a top player for Victoria. And
interesting there, just sorry to cut you off.
Don.
Lockett's gone off and he's gone into the dressing room, and Narkle coming on, we just saw. Sorry,
Ray. Surprised, Don. Oh, you think he was injured?
Well, obviously, as if he's gone straight up into the dressing room.
Well, that was a surprise. But young John Peter Budge, he's got Narkle, and Narkle will take a mark in the forward pocket. And I was just saying about Kevin Walsh 3 years ago here, was virtually laughed at by the Essendon supporters, and now he's probably one of the best footballs in Victoria, and he played a very good game in the State of Origin game on Tuesday night in South Australia, as Narkle, the ex-West Australian, just offline, but puts it behind on the board for the Saints. At the coming up to the 17-minute mark here at Windy Hill, Essendon 5-32, leading St Kilda 4 points. There's Frankie Donnell. Over to Elshaw, the running Elshaw. Back to Donnell. This could be silly. No, good play. Lucky to get out of the ex-Queenslander, and he sends it well up the wing. Up the back, punching it away is Frawley. Coming into the Bombers and working hard as usual is Roger Merritt, the Victorian captain. And the umpire coming across would be umpire, I'd say, Howlett, and he's decided to give the ball a bounce.
Out of centre wing. Umpires all throwing it up now. Over the back there, side bottom. Has got a good spring, we saw it there, and there's a free kick. Well done, umpire. They're breaking up the packs. We saw a shocking game last week where there were a lot of ball ups, and that's Frawley. And he goes down to that outer flank. Nobody can control the ball. Coming through, I think that was Winton, it was. Over to now a hand pass out to Barker. The St Kilda captain goes towards goal. What's he done with it? He's put it straight through. So there's the first goal to St Kilda. 1 goal for St Kilda, 10 points. However, Essendon's still leading 5-2, 32, and we've played 19 minutes of this first quarter. That was a good kick by Barker, well read off the pack. The ball came over the back of the pack, and Barker running through, Judge had got the hand pass and sent a long one into goal.
Well, Trevor Barker, probably the St Kilda's most experienced player. He's been at the club since 1975, and a lot of injuries he's had in that time. He probably well over the 200 game mark. He's played around about 190 games and has been an ornament to the game. As the St Kilda player there is Burns. Players trap it, and he's decided a free kick will go to young Spencer, the other Queenslander in the Essendon side, and Spencer sending it forward. Ezard leading out and has taken the mark. Well, Jobling putting his hands on his head, but you've got to keep up with him, Don.
That's inexperience for you. There was selfish play originally from Burns in the centre. He had Whitty there, or I think it was Whitty, he could have hand passed to, decided to go back, so they held up play. Then we saw the chip pass coming out to Ezard. Ezard in front of Jobling. Jobling dropped his head and allowed what we see now, a goal to young Clark, all because Jobling dropped his head, didn't concentrate, not putting the pressure on Ezard, and he spotted Clark further up the ground. So Essendon go further ahead. They are now 6-2, kicking very accurately, 38. And St Kilda 1-4-10, and we've played 20 minutes of this first quarter.
Well, St Kilda still having trouble with the Essendon runners, the Clark, Ezard and Elshaw causing the damage, and they've got to tighten up at the back, St Kilda, because this game is slowly slipping away from even at the 20-minute mark of the first quarter. As umpire Howlett to bounce the ball, side bottom and Madden. Madden flicks it over the back. Can't trap it as Grant, and I think you'll find that it's Grant. No, it's Trevor Barker, the skipper, will get the free kick. Looks like he is ruck roving, so comes through the centre and sends it to centre half forward. The St Kilda player, oh, bad play there, young Keel. Could have got the mark. Scotty Taylor coming through. Oh, good play there from Walsh. It clears it out to the centre wing with Harvey. Chasing it is Burns. Harvey working with an Elphingston to support Burns. It might be a free kick, I'd say, to Burns. Yes, I think you'll have to play that. Mark Harvey unfortunately give away the free kick. So Burns, great play for the Saints. Been around this club since 1978, and one of their experienced players. And I never see Greg Burns ever not put a good play in. And the little pass, Keel flips it over, little chip out there, coming across as Gamble, but coming through Billy Duckworth, the Norm Smith winner of the medal in the 84 grand final. Ezard got time to think. A little chip over to his teammate and Clark. Baker backing up. Beautiful ball around Elphingston. Sends it to full forward. Flood not in front. It comes out the back. Merritt. Flood again to Wood. And Wood puts it through. Good play, Wood. And good play from young David Flood from Mill, who's playing a good game in his first effort. So Essendon move on to 7 goals to. The score 44. Leeds St Kilda 1-4-10.
Well, it's already evident the skill that Essendon do possess. Skill in the way of they dispose of the ball, the way they're chipping the ball around, they are hitting their teammate further up the ground with either accurate hand pass or foot pass, and that was evident then. And this is the difference between the sides. It's already only 22 minutes of this first quarter, and the skill that Essendon possess as against St Kilda's endeavour is evident. Simon Madden, good hit out, Madden. Burns towards centre half forward. Duckworth all on his own there. He's got players running past his sides. He's gone. Free kick against Billy Duckworth. He had Walsh running past, and that was selfish play. A little bit slow in the head, Billy Duckworth. And he's paying the penalty, and a little bit of abusive language there, I think. Or the ball wasn't returned quick enough, and a 15-metre penalty. You can't afford to do that.
Kevin Walsh made great position, Don, didn't he?
He ran past properly there. We see now lining up. Kilda, the ball on its way, straight through the centre. We'll just pick that player up, Ray. I think
it's Taylor, Don.
Kane Taylor.
I'd say it would be 54. The players coming over to congratulate him, or is it Mark Gamble?
Well, Taylor, only a young player, a couple of weeks ago.
It's Kane Taylor, Don.
He's come up into the seniors.
And that's sorry,
Taylor's first goal. St Kilda second. Their goal kickers, Barker. And we just saw then Taylor. So 7-2, 44 Essendon, 2-4, 16 St Kilda.
Well, it's bad play from Billy Duckworth, certainly an experienced player, and I'm surprised Kevin Sheedy never sent the runner out to have a little talk to him, because it was not well handled. Now coming through now is Glenn Hawker. Oh, back looking for the young Taylor again. And this is the way they can work their way back into St Kilda. Burns runs into Keel. He's got Peter Budge coming across. Good play, young Peter Budge, but not a good kick. And Billy Duckworth trying to make up for it, sends it back. I think you might find it'll be a free kick down the ground, which is very unusual to see Trevor Barker giving a free kick down the ground on.
Well, it's a free after disposal, FAD, Ray.
Right, well, Brian Wood. Elshaw, but Robert Elphingston has taken the mark and to steady the Saints down. Elphingston this year trying to transfer to Richmond, but they were convinced he should stay here as Alistair Ford, the ex-Footscray player, flicks it over there to Hodges. Could it be a push there to the St Kilda forward player, but coming out the back is Donnell. He's got Clark making the position. Clark looking a bit better now, and he did, but a good mark from Trevor Barker, who's playing a good game for the Saints.
Well, he is playing a good game. Barker's been a little bit down on form. Not the brilliant Barker of the past, but he's been working very hard under the packs, doing a lot of strong things that weren't part of his game earlier as a young St Kilda player. The ball, a high ball, and a good St Kilda mark. We'll just wait on that player. It's Alistair Ford, the big centre-half forward, playing his first game, number 31. Jeff Saru's old number. And Ford only 20 metres out from goal, directly in front. St Kilda have only kicked 2 goals, and Ford can register their third. It won't be a difficult kick. There's plenty of space between those goals. And only being 20 metres out from goal, distance will not be a problem. Usually an accurate kick. The ball on its way, and he hasn't let me down. Well done, Alistair Ford. A good, strong mark in front there. Takes St Kilda a goal closer. However, Essendon 7-2-44. St Kilda 3-4-12. Right on the 25-minute mark, and we're going into time on in this first quarter.
Well, young Alistair Ford, the ex-Footscray player, and actually a few judges out at the Western Oval this year, commented that he was a player that Footscray shouldn't have let go. But in their wisdom, the Bulldogs have let him go, and he could be now trying to establish himself a career at the St Kilda club, with Warren Jones unfortunately being out injured today. So
we've got Lamb at full forward, named it on the half-back flank because of that injury to Lockett. Lamb has gone from the half-back flank to full forward, and Walsh has picked him up. Well,
that's side bottom in the ruck for the first time this year after starting off slow with an injury. Mark Gamble, who's been a good player in his first year, flicks it down there, but Kevin Walsh could have been a free to Kevin on the shoulder. And the umpires played the advantage rule, sending it up there. Whitty couldn't trap it. Harvey, he's outnumbered by about 5 St Kilda players, but he's in there working to Glenn Hawker. There's Essendon dangerous again to the danger main. Clark, and little Clark straightens up, a little chip over here, looking for, is jobbling in front of Izzard, coming across there as Flood. And the St Kilda side will come out of attack, and could have been a 15-yard against Simon Madden. No, to side bottom. Side bottom, to Barker, and as Don said's working, doing the hard things today, in the mud centre, sends it down to centre half forward, and Kane Taylor on his own, and Brian Wood letting the young fella get on his own and taking the mark. Well, Taylor coming up the time on, and Essendon holding a 22-point lead, and this young fella certainly looking at a good prospect for the Saints, and got the right coloured hair to be noticed by the judges. And he kicks a little kick, and I tell you what, he's put it right through the middle, Don. Great kick from Kane Taylor. Bad defensive play by the Bombers, so it takes St Kilda to 4 goals for 28, trailing Essendon 7-2-44.
Well, that's Cut Taylor's second goal. The first was a magnificent tackle on Duckworth, and Brian Wood let him go there, so that was an easier mark. But what a magnificent kick off the boot. He was some 50 metres out on a 45-degree angle, and as soon as it left the boot, you could tell it was a goal. Well done, young Kane Taylor. Madden and side bottom. Side bottom's actually doing very well in the ruck, and that'll be a good contest there today. Both players jumping that little earlier, both skilled players, and both do possess a good leap. Madden a little bit more experienced, has got a little bit more flair as far as a ruckman is concerned. That was a bad bounce there. Getting it out Baker, a high kick, and Gamble will take a good mark and is playing very, very well. Gamble, who's picked up Spencer, you see Spencer on the mark, goes a shocking kick in towards centre half forward, and getting away and slipping over the wrong time is Duckworth, and Elphingston going towards goal. Can they get back? No. Lamb, he does trap it. Well done, Lamb. A good kick over the left shoulder, and St Kilda have kicked their 5th goal. Well done, Lamb, named on the half-back flanks, gone down to full forward. A big, tall lad there we see on screen, number 51. Essendon 7-2-44. And St Kilda coming back. They certainly make a liar of you, because I thought Essendon would take a hold of this game. St Kilda 5-4-34, and we've played 29 minutes of this first quarter.
Well, not taking anything away from the Saints, but Essendon seem to have just lost a bit of concentration in the last 10 minutes, and these young St Kilda players have grabbed the opportunity of getting the score on the board, and it's a high-scoring game, 12 goals in the first quarter, and this is good. And St Kilda are working their way back into this game, and it's good to see it as Barker once again, having a dirty day, Billy Duckworth, he's having a dirty day. Shane Hurd out there hasn't been seen since the game started. Good play there by Clark, who looked like he was coming off to Harvey, and Mark Harvey, half-back flank, sending it up there. At the front is Spencer, just couldn't grab it. Rains hasn't been seen, could have been a free kick to Whitty, and the players all fall on top of it and will be a ball up.
Well, Brian Wood's gone off the ground. Obvious that mistake has been spotted, and that was a disciplinary action. And coming onto the ground is Waterson. So Waterson has gone on to Kane Taylor, number 54.
Well, I think Billy Duckworth, if they're going to have discipline, should have made pull him off, because he is having a bit of a dirty day and not playing well, Bill Duckworth. There's young Whitty He's got a good pass over to Jobling, and Jobling making the position, stream through the centre and send it down to centre half forward. He's on his own, Lamb, but coming to support Walsh is Winton, and Winton's got Hawker on his own. Can he get the ball for it goes out of bounds? Yes, he's trapped it over the top of Jobling to Leon Baker, and Baker just couldn't get to it. Grant in there to support is Elphingston. Harvey, the handball, under pressure. St Kilda clearing it out. Elphingston again. And really a good mark there from young Taylor as the players will descend on it. No one can advantage for Sheedy. His first touch. Oh, good play
Good
there,
smother.
Essendon. Good smother. That's the little chip pass. Flood over the top. Can he get it, Ezard? But he can't. And the ball will go to the line and out of bounds in the forward pocket.
Well, that was a magnificent smother by Essendon there. And that is the reason why the ball's in the right forward pocket. Little things like that. The player who did that smother was Winton. Now the ball thrown in. Going to no one in particular. Whitty overran the ball. Coming onto it there is Odgers. Gets tackled after. No, the umpire says it wasn't a free kick and beating side bottom over the line and to be thrown in. 20 metres in favour of Essendon on the centre wing. Side bottom number 2 to do the ruck work against Spencer, number 23, and the ball beats Shane Hurd over the line to be thrown in.
You noticed, Don, that Kevin Sheedy standing there on the boundary, you're watching the game, and he sent his runner Gerald Betts out there with another message. He's got him working pretty well overtime, so he may be a little bit concerned that Essendon have lost a bit of concentration, Don. So quarter time here at Windy Hill, Essendon 7-2-44, leading St Kilda 5-4-34, a 10-point lead at Windy Hill.
In favour of Essendon. Essendon kicking to the right of our screen. Madden and side bottom. Probably ruck unchanged. A bad bounce picked up by Barker. Has been a good player across to Burns. Donnell stopped that attack. Hawker. A short pass out towards Harvey. And Essendon have got players running everywhere and they chip and handball very well. Now Harvey, he'll have to go long. He does. In towards full forward there. The pack, no, doesn't go. Only 2 up. It's balls on the ground. Nobody can get it out. Players will throw themselves on top and try and hold the ball up, which they do. The only sensible thing to do when you've got a number of defenders who outnumber the forwards. And the umpire has to come in and bounce it up. Side bottom over the back. Players, a lot of players around the ball there. Trying to pick it up was Essendon's Ezard. He can't. It's kicked off the ground. Madden. Elshaw, a hand pass across to Clark. Clark been a good player in the first quarter. A high ball towards full forward. Frawley over the back. Punches it down onto it quickly. Was Flood onto 23. Spencer, I think he's kicked it. He has. Trevor Spencer, the ex-Queenslander. Young David Flood. Playing well at the full forward position. Has set up a number of hand passes for goals. And Essendon now 8-2-50. St Kilda 7-5. Sorry, I'll get this right in a minute. 5-4-34. We've only played 2 minutes of this second quarter.
Well, young David Flood getting his chance today and probably wouldn't have had that opportunity with the injuries that Essendon have had. And Essendon have got some good youngsters in the seconds, fellas like young Hamilton and Considine. And this has got to augur well. Even a strong side like Essendon eventually will have to replace players, and this is going to give young Flood the experience that he needs. So there's Barker, Baker of Essendon, Leon Baker, the ex-West Australian, sending the Bombers into attack, but not a good thing. And young Whitty should get the mark and the free kick to relieve the pressure for the Saints. Well, the ground a little bit soft. A little bit of rain we had overnight and yesterday, but it's still in pretty good condition as the ball comes through for Sheedy. Was trapped as he tries to get it. Could have been a free, but the umpire wise, he's letting the game flow, and the players will descend on the ball for a ball up.
Actually, it's interesting, Ray, to note that the umpires obviously think it's an adverse weather day today because they're playing with a new ball in this second quarter, and you only do that when you can consider the ground to be in bad condition.
Well, it's not in that bad shape, Don.
Well,
I think
actually, it just does surprise me, Ray. Yeah. But anyway, the umpires make that decision. We've seen a couple of times they've had to throw the ball up around the ground, so they believe it's not holding on the outer wings.
Well, the centre of the ground is not a mud heap. If you had a look at the St Kilda ground last week, it looked like a swamp. So anyway, as Harvey has got on the wing, handball to the running Hawker. Hawker coming across, a little chip to Flood, and he's let out. Young David Flood doing a good job in his first game, and showing a lot of possibilities, this young fella. Pulls the socks up.
Well, he kicked a lot of goals in a pre-season game. Actually, he was probably the best player in that particular pre-season game. I don't know how many he kicked, young Flood. But the ball on its way, not a good kick off the boot, and going right across the face of goal. And that's another point to Essendon. Now Essendon 8-3, playing St Kilda 5-4. 51, playing 34. We've played 5 minutes of this quarter, and that's a good mark to St Kilda's Elphinston. Elphinston named on the wing, plays on quickly. Stopped by Clark. Neil Clark, an experienced player, and the ball will have to be thrown in on the left forward, St Kilda's left forward flank. Side bottom 2, doing the ruck work. Essendon started up again with a handball. Elshaw, a high ball. Who's underneath it? Whitty coming in. Merritt. Nobody can pick it up, and that is well roved off the pack by Rains, going towards the forward pocket. Who can take it? Can they? No, he can't. The ball comes to ground. That was Harvey. No, Clark. Who couldn't just control that ball. Hodges was his opponent. And another point. And 52 plays 34 as McConville will bring the ball in for St Kilda.
Okay, Keel and Clark punched away. Harvey to support. Good play, young Keel. He worked it away, and Peter Budge takes the ball and gets it out of bounds in front of the Essendon social stand on the member side of the ground. Well, the Bombers 52, St Kilda 34, and as the Saints are not overawed by this occasion here today, and they're certainly giving a good account of themselves. The side bottom gives a free kick away to Trevor Spencer, and Spencer gets the free. Well, the goal kickers to this stage of the game, Ezard has kicked 2, and Wood, Stephen Clark, Flood, Hawker, Harvey and Spencer all have one each for the Bombers, while St Kilda, young Taylor has kicked 2, Lamb and Barker has kicked 1 each, as Jeffrey Rains, a little bit absence today, as that's about his third kick, and kicks it out of bounds, and it'll be St Kilda to relieve.
The back pocket, Hodges, a real goer in my book. Darren Hodges, a high ball and up, nobody can bring it down. Keel, 17, gets a quick ball in front, and that's the only place to play Duckworth, but well caught. Was it against Barker?
A bit lucky,
no,
Don.
Yeah, no, I thought it was against Barker.
Well, Billy Duckworth's not having a good day, Don. I thought he didn't really
Well, he did the right thing. He was playing in front, and that's the best position to play, and Barker really did come into his back as Duckworth sends a high ball to centre half forward. The pack rear is up, and that's a good mark to McConville. Peter McConville, the ex-Carlton half-back or utility player, relieves for St Kilda. Side, oh, you ducked your head then, young side bottom. He had the ball and ducked his head right at the crucial moment. Alan Sidebottom, you cannot afford to do that. Well, they're lucky there because the ball will have to be bounced. Madden to do it against Sidebottom. Madden gets it out. Clark, Janelle, number 7. In towards centre forward. Ezard was letting it go there and then decided he'd take it. He had a real look around there, Alan Ezard.
I don't think he knew he had it initially, Don, do you?
Well, I think he just stuck the hands up there. He's waiting for the big fellows to come. He was roving the pack. And then he decided, well, I better go for it. Stuck the hands up and they stuck. But he was in front, and that's the position you've got to be in, getting away from Jobling. The ball on its way, and it's going to drift across the face of goal. So there's another point. Essendon's 5th. 8-5. Playing 5-4. 53 Essendon. 34 St Kilda.
McConville out the back. Grant taking the mark in front of, it looks like Elshaw. Anyway, up the centre of the ground. Up the back is Baker. Comes out quickly. Donnell to clear it if he can get it. He can't trap it. Could have been a free against Narkle, but the umpire says Barker, a good play today. In front is Taylor coming across. He's got the chance. No, he couldn't do it, young Lamb. And the two youngsters, Lamb and Taylor, are doing a very good job up there and are giving St Kilda something to attack to.
Also, the player also doing a good job and setting an example is Barker. This is the best I've seen Barker play for a while. He was the player who sent that ball up forward.
I agree, Don. He has not really played that well this year, but his experience, surely the goodness, would be keeping him in good stead for this young side as the umpire comes over and says to all the fellas, let's give it a ball up as Chris Waterson hands the ball back to umpire Hallett.
Ball in the right forward pocket, St Kilda's right forward pocket. Actually, the umpire bounced it then. Nobody can get the ball out. And again, another well done umpire. The umpires in the past have been balling it up in that situation there, but the break-up packs, he is giving the player at least a chance who is going in after the ball, and it's aiding to breaking up packs. Essendon change direction of play. Gunnell runs straight across goal. Up over the back man, can't take it. Keel can't control it. Oh, that was piggy touchwood. That was real piggy touchwood stuff. Keel plays on quickly to side bottom. No, the umpire says you've got to come back and kick over your mark, Peter Keel. Now Essendon are able to regroup. Jobling off and Dwyer on. Dwyer, a young player playing in his first game. Jobling, who has been trying to control Alan Izzard as Madden. Very mobile ruckman. Goes down to centre forward looking for Merritt, and in front, but taking a good mark and using his body well is Danny Frawley. Frawley was named in the state squad, however didn't get a game last Tuesday night, goes long. Right forward puck to St Kilda. In front there is Taylor it was. Under a lot of pressure there. No, actually that was Lamb, I'm sorry, they both look alike. Lamb number 51 and Taylor 54 for St Kilda, but they both got blonde hair. And the umpire is going to throw it in on the right forward flank. St Kilda's right forward flank.
Okay, the umpire sends it in with Ford and Madden. Donnell coming in for the punch. Taken there by Clark. Sends it up to centre half or in the centre of the ground, and Sidebottom has taken a mark with Trevor Spencer coming in a little bit late and might find he might get a little bit of yardage here, as he will. Young Trevor Spencer should learn this once the mark's been played. Let it go on. Oh, gee, it could have been a little bit after, but the player, nearly taken by Barker. But the Bombers out the back through Duckworth. He's got Elshaw, Harvey. Flick it over the top if you can. No, he's got the hand pass to Hawker. Hawker can't control it. Now gets it trapped on the half-back flank. Now Elshaw. He's got the running Baker. He's had one bounce. Look, Susie got the lead to Flood. Flood shoots out and got the mark, young lady. Flood. Good play, Essendon. And good play from Tony Elshaw. Flood plays on to Baker. But no, he couldn't just get it. And the Saints will come out the back through Hodges. Up there, punched away. St Kilda, Madden tries to bend down, flicks it on. It's Winton, sorry. Flood coming through his range. Good play to Flood. Balks around, tries to get the handballs, but Sidebottom gets it back. And young Gamble clears it out the back. And St Kilda relieve it. Frankie Donnell should be a push. He's playing a great game, Frank Donnell, and he relieves. A pass to Duckworth. Duckworth in the centre, looks around, says I've got the clearance, and sends it through down to the forward line. Flood again. Good mark there from St Kilda to relieve. It would be Hodges or Frawley, Don.
No, actually.
Is it not either?
It's neither. It's Peter
not,
McConville.
Peter McConville.
Third time lucky.
Oh.
McConville.
Getting a bit carried away with the call, Don.
Hand pass across the side bottom. Narkle in the headgear. Up to Peter Budge, and he'll take a good mark. An impressive young player, Peter Budge. Played in the state team for juniors a couple of years ago, and a player with a lot of ability. Goes quickly into Barker. Barker playing well, as not usual, playing well today. And well done, Kevin Walsh. Tackle there by Lamb. Play on, says the umpire. Out to Alan Izzard. Across to Baker. Baker, a chip. Who's he found? He has Harvey. And Harvey slowing up play. No, he's not there. All by himself is Elshaw. Elshaw getting away from the St Kilda backmen. Darren Hodges running off the mark now. Now, obviously, Elshaw believes he's in kicking range, and he is really a good kick for a little fellow. 40 metres out from goal, more or less directly in front, so you'll see a ton of daylight between those big goal sticks. So a high ball floating across the face of goal. The accuracy was a problem, distance wasn't. So that's another point to Essendon. 8-6, 54, St Kilda 5-4, 34, and we've played 13-minute marks of this pro football game, coming to you from Windy Hill. And Tony Lockett's coming back onto the ground out of the dressing room, so it'll be interesting to see if he retains his place.
Well, as you said, Don, Tony Elshaw, normally a good kick for goal, but he kicks his goals better on the run than the set shots, as Hawker could have been a little bit of, Roger Merritt. And Roger really has been a little bit quiet today, Don, for Big Roger. He hasn't looked like he's struggling.
Well, he's doing the right thing. He's playing in front. You know, you can't do any more. You have your good days, you have your bad days, and we can see Lockett warming up, and he doesn't look too good. The right knee heavily bandaged, as we see Merritt 45-degree angle, about 45 metres from goal. And Roger believes he's in kicking distance. The ball on its way. It's a nice looking kick. We'll wait on the umpire. Well, the crowd have acknowledged it. Now the umpire has. So Essendon have kicked another goal. 9-6, I should say. 9-6-60. St Kilda 5-4-34. And Roger Merritt has kicked his first goal. Essendon goal kickers. Ezard has 2, 1 each to Clark, Trevor Spencer, Roger Merritt, who just kicked that, David Flood, Glenn Hawker and Mark Harvey, whilst for St Kilda, Barker and Lamb have 1 each and Kane Taylor 2.
Well, I guess we expect to see Roger dominating the game all the time, because Roger Merritt's been a great player at Windy Hill since '78. In the last couple of years has become a leader in this club and proved it by the captain of the Victorian side on
Whitty's
Tuesday
gone
night.
to full forward for St Kilda and Lamb onto the half-back flank, picking up Harvey.
Right, Madden, Hawker, got time, kicks it out, Narkle, the helmet of Narkle. Oh, and he's lost his helmet. He mightn't lose his sponsorship from the Bike Velodrome, Don. He put that off him. And Alan Sidebottom's got his hands on it there, Don. I wonder if those helmets are any good sometimes.
Well, obviously Narkle doesn't. He must have suffered a lot of head injuries earlier in his career.
Not a good kick, and it's thrown him off the ball a bit as Baker. But coming through is young Keel. Good play, little chip, but Waterson. Oh no, bad play. Could have taken a mark. Taylor, and Taylor will get the free kick, and that's bad play, Waterson. And a free kick to Taylor, who now is limping.
Actually, the idea was all right to play on quickly, but it was an underground hand pass, a tunnel ball type hand pass, and St Kilda retained the position, and Taylor, can he kick his third goal? Kick on its way. It's going up to full forward. The Packs set themselves. The ball comes to the ground. Clark, number 12, he's under the pack. He'll have to get the free. No, the umpire says play on. I thought he was legged there, and the umpire will come in and bounce the ball. Well, Stephen Clark read it well. He's an impressive young player, Stephen Clark. The ball only 20 metres out for the St Kilda goal. Forward. Madden got it over the back. Good smother, Stephen Clark. That's a neck. Play on, says Trevor. The umpire, and Trevor Barker does so. Actually, the umpire should have paid around the neck there to Barker, but he paid the advantage. So, another point to St Kilda. 60 playing 35. And we've played 16 minutes of this second quarter. Duckworth. Coming through is Trevor Spencer. He had the sit and a good mark. Players held on the ground as Spencer goes up towards centre wing over the back. Is Lamb. Lamb across to McConville. McConville runs in towards centre. Looking for Barker, who's up, and what a magnificent, that's Robert Elphingston, a magnificent mark. Got the sit there over Rains, and Elphingston will take the kick. Now Rains has been retarded. 15-metre penalty against Rains. A good kick. Will it make the distance? I think it has. Robert Elphingston, you've kicked yourself a goal.
Well, Jeffrey Rains, bad play then. He did come in behind Elphingston, and the umpire was very quick onto that. And it was good umpiring, and the extra 15 yardage was given to Robert Elphingston, and that gave him that extra distance to get the goal on.
Well, 9-6 playing 60, Ray. 9-6 playing 60, I should say. 9-6-60 Essendon. 6-5-41 St Kilda. And actually that was a good kick. It didn't look a good kick off the beat. It was a torpedo. It was from the edge of the square. That's some 50, 55, 60 metres out, but it went straight through the centre. It was a good kick.
Well, your old mate Doug Wade always said the torpedo punts are the ones to kick for distance, as Sidebottom and Madden. Barker, Winton flips it back. Good play. It might have been a bit of a fluke, but he got it to Rains. And Rains kicking it down to centre half forward. Narkle, oh, nearly a mark to Ezard, but he's going to give it the man in front. You have to pay the man in front. Could have been a line ball, but the Essendon crowd not happy as Narkle sends it to the wing. Oh, a great mark there from Taylor. And certainly a prospect, this youngster. And against Duckworth, I think Billy Duckworth would rather be out on the boundary. He's having a terrible day. As I don't think the players know what's going on, but the Essendon players should have let Taylor get a clearance.
Well, that's a deliberate ploy by Essendon to hold up play there. Hawker really wasn't wanting to get back all that quickly, and they've retained possession. See, they've lost about 15 seconds there, maybe 30 seconds. Again, because of what has happened, and you've got to say that is good play, Essendon, because now the players be hold up some 45 seconds.
Well, I did that 2 years ago, Don, when they started their power run, and the umpires then decided to bring a rule in of wasting time, which now goes to the tribunal. Sfashini hasn't been seen much. He flicks it over. Clark and Burns. Oh, how long he got to have Burnsy? But he gets it down, but coming through is Shane Hurd. Controversial selection on Tuesday night. Sends it down. Harvey. Oh, good mark there from McConville. And he's been a good player since he came over from Carlton. McConville, centre half forward. Barker coming across as Burns, but not there. Rains, the hand pass. Can he get it? Izzard, he's got it, but not couldn't find his teammate. Heard the support with the shepherding. Burns coming in. Oh, Barker playing good game. Elphingston, the long hand pass. Fashini, he straightens up, and he put it through. Great goal from Kilda, and that's their 7th goal. They're not being denied here at Windy Hill. The Bombers 9-6-60, and St Kilda 7-5. 47, great play from the Saints.
Again initiated by the captain, Trevor Barker. He roved that pack very well, got it over to Burns. Burns a hand pass to the finisher, Bushini, and Bushini kicked St Kilda's 7th goal. 60 playing 47 when we've played 24 minutes, 19 minutes I should say, of this second quarter. And St Kilda cannot be denied, and the crowd really getting their money's worth. Ball coming out. Taylor, who's obviously been moved further up the ground from the forward pocket. Peter Budge, a quick one into centre half forward. Keel in front and takes a good mark in front of Clark. And Clark having to go back. 15. No, the umpire's not playing the 15-metre penalty. And Peter Keel in the position where Elphingston just kicks St Kilda's goal. That's another nice kick off the boot. Drifting high, the pack up. Nobody can bring it down. And it's gone through off the hands of the pack for another point. Essendon 60, St Kilda 48. See Duckworth bringing it back, and Walsh, I should have said Walker bringing it, no, Duckworth it was, bringing it back. A high ball, saying what a good mark, Roger Merritt. No, that's Trevor Spencer.
Well, that should be 15 yards. No. Well, the umpire wouldn't play that. Spencer, who's he got? Harvey. And the Essendon crowd there asking, well, why wasn't that 15 yards the same way as it was before to St Kilda? But, gee, you can't deny the Saints today. They're really putting a big effort in here, and everybody expected this to be a one-horse race. Well, they're just showing the crowd here today that it's not going to be. And Essendon have got a game on their hands. As Mark Harvey, the youngster from the local district, comes from Keilor, has a shot, he straightened it up and put it through, and that would be a goal that they probably want. And you'd think that might be a bit strange with Essendon playing St Kilda, but that's the goal they needed to take them on to 10 goals, 6, 66, leading St Kilda 7-6, 48, an 18-point advantage at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter here at Windy Hill.
Well, as every time that St Kilda make a move towards Essendon, Essendon seem to steady and register another goal, and that was a good mark to Trevor Spencer backing into the pack, and he was responsible for Mark Harvey kicking that goal. 66 playing 48. Merritt and Sidebottom, well done Sidebottom, got up very high there, coming through is Peter Budge up towards centre half forward. Trapping the ball is Waterson, out looking for and finds Clark. Clark picks the ball up. Chip out towards Elshaw. Elshaw on centre wing. He'll go, no he doesn't, he chips another one around the boundary looking for Merritt, and they'll beat that player over the boundary. Be thrown in right in front of the Essendon grandstand, the stand that I used to sit in as a youngster following Essendon.
They used to give you a few hoots too in the 70s, didn't they, Don?
Got more than a few hoots out here, Ray.
Hey, Don McKenzie and Graham Moss, all these players used to give you a bit of a hard time.
Madden up over the back. Well done, Simon Madden, an intelligent ruckman. Played a lot of games, 250th today. An experience showing as Narkle comes out onto his left foot, a chip. And who's he found? Little Dwyer, who's come on playing his first game, getting away from Frank Donnell. Dwyer, second kick off the boot, and that's Taylor taking a good mark. Started up in the forward pocket. Getting around the, oh, well done, Clark. Taylor following up again, can he get it? No. Gamble coming through, played a solid game at centre half forward. And the ball is going to be called back.
Well, Don, I don't know about you, I might be a little bit one-eyed, but I thought that should have been a free against Gamble.
What for?
For holding the ball.
No, well, he was trapped there, Ray. He was brought to the ground. It was a good decision, I believe, by the umpire anyway, as we see. As we see the ball again having to be thrown up in more or less the same position. what it was earlier. And this was what was happening or has been happening in a lot of games recently. A lot of players around the ball, we can see that. Congestion around the ball, and the ball not able to be got out. It will be that time as Spencer gets a good hit out. Peter Budge can't trap it, trips over at the crucial time. Well done, young Peter Budge. Trevor Spencer, the ex-Queenslander, coming through, trying to trap it, can't. McConville. Good handball, McConville. Over his head was Kane, Dwyer, Barker. Across to Taylor. Taylor to side bottom to Fashini. Now they got a chance. Dummies a handball. Well done, Neil Clark. Off the boot, Elphingston, the wingman, across to Keel. Keel, another handball. St Kilda running it deep into their forward line. Alistair Ford. Well, it's taken down there by a series of handball. There wasn't one kick from the centre wing. There wasn't one kick. They're all handball, and the ball finishes up 20 metres out from the St Kilda goal.
Well, St Kilda certainly got a little bit of possibilities here with players like young Kane Taylor, who's been playing very well, and John Peter Budge, Gamble, and this has got to help St Kilda if they're going to have these type of players as the ball comes to the ground. It's Baker, but Elphingston out on his own. The experienced Elphingston, a nice little hand pass, but no, too wide. But Narkle swings around on left foot. A little chip pass to Keel. Has he got the mark? No, Duckworth backing him up is Clark. And Clark sends it to the centre. Elshaw, Odgers comes in. Can the Bombers get it through? A good play there from Sir Spencer. Over to Harvey. Harvey straightens up, shoots at the goal. Is it going to roll through? It's rolled through. Great goal, Mark Harvey. And the Essendon side go on to 11 goals. 6 behind, 72 points to St Kilda. 7 goals, 6, 48. A 4-goal advantage coming up the time on in the second quarter, and a good play then from Harvey. He took the judgment, Don, and well, a little bit of luck, but it was a goal.
Well, Ezard set up that. He shot it across to Harvey, and Harvey had Merritt, who's now playing at full forward, leading out. And I thought it was bad play. He shot it into that goal square. It was unattended, and the ball rolled truly through for Essendon's 11th goal. Preparing to warm up is Brian Wood. We'll just wait to see which Essendon player is coming off. As the free kick is given to Forshini, number 6, Silvio Forshini. Now Forshini right in the centre of the ground, looking down the ground. A high, tumbling punt kick. Doesn't give the players much of a chance. The ball comes to ground. Keel has been really conspicuous. Gets it across to Whitty. Whitty onto his left foot. No, another point. So 11-6, 72 Essendon. St Kilda 7-7, 49. And we've played 25 minutes coming into time on. Duckworth coming off for Essendon. Brian Wood coming on. High ball, Madden over the back. Jumped a little earlier. Elshaw. Well, as he's going off, Duckworth picks up a kick for himself. Sends the ball in centre half forward. Merritt over the back. Got into the back of Narkle. Narkle's injured. Ball played on quickly. Elphingston. Big player on the wing, going down towards the centre, and well done. Who's that in front? David Grant it'd have to be, because he is a high flyer. The ruck rover for St Kilda. Goes onto the left foot, plays on quickly towards centre half forward. Fashini in front, forward. Now they can bring the ball down. It's going to be held. It was held to Neil Clark, by Neil Clark. Held to Peter Keel, and Keel really not given the opportunity to get rid of the ball, so consequently the umpire has got to bounce it at the centre half forward position.
Okay, Madden and Ford, and swooping through as Jeffrey Rains, and sent it to centre half forward. You've got Narkle, but the speeds of Alan Ezard, and actually for his size is a sensational mark. Sprints away from him. Great play, Ezard. Straightens up on the right foot. What's he done? Magnificent football, Alan Ezard. Oh, great play. He could take a mark. Side bottom looked at Narkle, and off went Ezard. Don, great football from the young speedster.
Well, that's typical of what St Kilda do. We've seen Jobley make the same mistake on the mark, and that's the experience, or inexperience, I should say. The St Kilda players are inexperienced at top-class football. They try very hard. They've come at Essendon a number of times. Each time they do, Essendon seem to steady and kick another goal, and that was well done by Alan Ezard. Took the opportunity of confusion on the mark, and we see again Bill Duckworth coming back onto the ground. We'll wait and see who's going off. Well,
he's, as I said earlier in the call, Don, he's having a dirty day, Bill, and that's not for the want of trying, as Clark sends it down there to Merritt, and a nice mark, and the Essendon player down in the centre. I can't pick him up.
Looks like Stephen Clark.
Clark, he's holding his head. The trainers, Simon Madden, suggesting to come out to call to him.
Darren Hodges came through pretty hard then, Ray, and went through the pack and hit Simon Clark, and Clark doesn't look too good.
Holding his head, but back to the play. Roger Merritt, a little chip on the pocket, and that's a great goal, Roger Merritt. And those goals, well, when we were kids, John Coleman, the famous John Coleman, used to kick a lot of goals from that pocket, and this Windy Hill ground has certainly seen some great players, and I think in the future they'll be saying Roger Merritt was one of those champions. And a headache tomorrow. So we've got the game to start again, and
the umpire can't well away from the boundary line, because if the play did go over there, there would be further accident, and that's a good decision, and well done, umpire.
Well, the Bombers holding a 41-point lead, and I think the Amiga time clock will go off the go right around.
Merritt back in the ruck, not back in the ruck, gone in the ruck, and Madden centre half forward, and Merritt going to relieve a little bit of the pressure for Madden. Barker gets a quick left foot kick out. Coming through there is Donnell, a high kick down to the half-forward flank. Leading there is McConville, and McConville takes a mark in front of David Flood. McConville has been playing behind Flood, and Flood has led him a little bit of a merry dance in this second quarter. Nobody can bring the ball down. Coming through is Burns. Burns had his handball smothered. Donnell across to Waterson. Waterson across to Wood. I thought Wood played a good game in the first quarter. Can't pick it up. It's taken off the ground for disciplinary reasons. Behind play, we have a little bit of a blue as we see Brian Wood, and that's where we concentrate with Brian Wood with the football. Ball along the centre wing, over the back, and taking a good mark is Gamble. Gamble plays on quickly across to Odgers. Odgers, another handball to Keel. Keel, a chip. How's he found Fushini, the two number sixes? Fushini trying to use his body. Rains, Elphingston gets a quick kick. Over the Walsh's head, Duckworth, well done Billy Duckworth, but he's slow off the mark, isn't he? Oh, he was trapped. Frawley, Elphingston, a high kick, cannot make the distance, waiting underneath it is wide, can he bring it? No, he can't bring it down. And Essendon relieve the pressure through Waterson, a high kick to a half-back flank, and coming over the back, St Kilda.
With Barker tries a good play, Trevor Barker works it over to Peter Budge, but he couldn't pick it up, and Glenn Hawker gets a relief, and he said dropping the ball against you, Glenn Hawker. Well, I think that might have been a little bit unlucky, but that's what the umpire sees it. So young John Peter Budge has got a chance. He's only about 30 metres out on the slide angle, and one of the good players for St Kilda this year is a new player, and he's showing why. Right through, Roger Merritt just comes in to take the mark. Well, as Don said, Rogers now go onto the ball to give Simon Madden a bit of a rest, but the umpire says you've got to kick over your mark, although maybe the St Kilda player came up too far. Alistair Ford, and Roger has another kick. So Merritt sends it to the other side, and it's been then marked by Grant as the siren rings for half-time. So half-time here at Windy Hill in the Pro Football game. The Pro Football scoreboard, Essendon 13-6-84, leading St Kilda 7-7-49.
Well, actually, I'm glad the umpire or one of the St Kilda players threw the ball back to Grant then. That was stupid play. He is within kicking distance, I believe. And he should always take your kick. The ball on its way. It's a nice torpedo punt. Will it make the distance? No, it didn't. And
so same as you were, Don.
We stay as we were, but you always should take your kick, as we just see at half-time. Essendon 13-6-84. St Kilda 7-7-4.
Listen, no, we're going to take it into.
Well, the sun has come out here as the umpire raises the ball to start us in the second half of this pro football game between St Kilda and Essendon. Conditions good for football. Madden gets a hit out. Harvey's played very well in the second quarter. A little quiet. Narkle, number 8, overruns the ball. Lamb gets a handball across to Keel. Keel also another good player. The running Narkle. St Kilda made a number of moves, Graham Jelly, in order to try and get St Kilda back into this game, but to no avail. If you haven't got the players, you can't make the moves, and that's a free kick, and that's going to Kevin Walsh. Kevin Walsh plays on quickly. Hurd. Now Witten changes direction of play. Donnell, quite farcical sometimes. All they try to do is retain possession of the ball as Harvey takes a good mark in front of Gamble on the outer wing.
Mark Harvey, the young boy from Keeler, kicks it, but a little bit short, and it falls into the place of Narkle as he gets the hand pass. That would be St Kilda's player. Comes across to Lamb. He can't control it. And coming at the back again is Narkle. Harvey goes at the back to Elshaw. Elshaw turns around. No, back on the left foot. Has one little bounce. He's got Kevin Walsh. Back to Elshaw. Over to Shane Hurd in the centre. Back to Elshaw. Now Elshaw on the left foot. Sends it to centre half forward. Oh, good mark there from young Whitty. Oh, you should have played that, yes. And the Essendon crowd not happy, but Roger Merritt was a long way behind, and Whitty gets the mark.
You don't have to be big and strong, Ray. You called it, and it was a good mark. He's not as big as Roger Merritt. He played in front, and really you can't get around anybody if they're in front. And Whitty, a shocking kick, goes in towards the centre there. The pack come up. Baker tries to rose it, can't. Pashini in there, picks it up, tackle. Comes out to Elphinston. He gets a quick kick down at the half-forward line. Leading into the race of the ball is Duckworth. Duckworth has been caught on a few occasions today. Chips a little ball up to the centre wing. Very good play. As he finds, that's Jeff Rains on that centre wing. Being held up by Lamb. The umpire says that Lamb just didn't get back quick enough and has awarded a 15-metre penalty. Rains towards centre half forward, a big kick, the pack fly, no one can bring it down, it goes over there. This player has been very good today. Young Flood shows that he has got a football brain the way he set up a number of goals, and that time just couldn't get it away. Narkle gets a free kick and runs through towards centre half forward for Kilda, over the players' heads. Getting back onto the ball there is Kane Taylor. Taylor, who's kicked a couple of goals earlier in the game, picks it up on the second attempt, goes towards goal, can't screw it back high. It's a high ball into the pocket, and taking a very good mark is Kevin Walsh.
Well, Kevin Walsh, good mark in the defence, and handballs across to Winton. Winton was going to give it to Frank Donnell, but good shepherding from Donnell to stop forward from attempting to stop it. Hawker flicks it away from Elphinston. The two number 33s, the hand pass, and that's the Jeff Rains. Can't pick it up. Gets around on the left foot. Hand pass. Elshaw in the centre. Straightens it down to full forward. Merritt at the back is Flood, but St Kilda come back out. It's Odgers' hand pass. Lamb comes onto the right foot and relieves the pressure, sending it to the centre of the ground. Oh, a great mark from Brian Winton. He got the ride on forward and held it. Sends it to the half-forward line. Merritt can't take it. Players descend on it. Narkle. Hand pass on the ground to Whitty. Whitty, the little hand pass over the top of the pack. Hurd tries to trap it. Players will know. The umpire says play on as Merritt balls on top to Big Madden. A quiet day for Simon Madden today. As working his way through the pack is Neil Clark. Sends it high. Players underneath, punched away. Coming down is Izzard. A little chip will go across the face of goal and through for a point. So that'll take Essendon on to 13 goals, 7-85, leading St Kilda 7-7-49, a 6-goal advantage at the 5-minute mark at Windy Hill.
36 points the difference as Whitty kicks out and finds Sidebottom. Sidebottom playing on quickly, finds the running Elphinston. Elphinston across to Frawley. Frawley tucks the ball on his arm and goes to run in towards centre half forward. He's looking for nobody really, as there was Essendon players there. Wood rattled the ball, gave it across to Walsh. Walsh, an awkward looking left foot, but he finds Baker. Baker on quickly. Well done, Gamble. And that's well done against Kevin Walsh. All you have to have is a little bit of application in football, and Walsh has got a ton of that as he followed up the ball down towards the left half forward flank for Essendon. Nobody can pick it up. Peter Budge has been a very good player, only a young player. Gets it across to Lamb. Lamb across to Keel. Keel in towards the centre, and that was another shocking kick off the boot as Baker. Baker, probably, I reckon, nearly the best man on the ground. Winton, centre half back, a high kick, and Whitty playing strong. He plays on quickly. That was bad play. McConville uses strength, gets away, then tackled by young Flood. Flood, a handball across to Izzard. Izzard dodges, goes onto the left foot, got a ton of space. A little chip in towards Harvey. Can he stand up? No, he doesn't. Shepherding, heavy work. He's just got to go onto the right foot. He can't. Izzard onto the left. He's put it through. Well done, Alan Izzard. Alan Izzard has kicked Essendon's 14th goal. 14-7 Essendon, playing St Kilda 7-7. We've played 6 minutes of this third quarter. And Alan Izzard will just total his goals up. He's kicked 4 to date.
So great goal from Alan Izzard, and Alan Izzard has kicked 4, as Don said. Harvey 3, Merritt 2, and the main goal kicker is Taylor for St Kilda with 2. Well, the Bombers in the second quarter kicked 6-4 to St Kilda's 2-3, and the Saints a little bit looking down the barrel. 7 goals down now, and as Madden tries to get the hit out. Ford, left foot, out, range. A little bit quiet, but now he's got the chance, and that long kick down to the half forward. Ezard, nearly BOG. Don said Baker, and I'd say Ezard will be giving him a run for his money.
Obviously, Ezard has received a little bit of attention because over his eye, he's got blood trickling. Looks like a boxer or a street brawler at the moment.
Actually, your old teammate Lee Matthews used to like to leave the blood on the eye, Don.
Well, it makes it look more ferocious, Ray, as Ezard lines up, the ball on its way. It's a nice kick. It's held up there and coming through McConville, who releases St Kilda straight across the face of goal and out of bounds on the full.
Okay, we'll find that Mark Harvey will get the free kick on a difficult angle. He's about 40 metres out. And I've seen players at Windy Hill kick that goal. The trainers all have to move because Harvey's got to go right back onto the fence. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Harvey kick this because the angle's not as severe as it looks. And he's got a little bit of breeze behind him. He comes out and puts it right through the middle. Great goal, Mark Harvey. And I had a feeling he might kick that, John. It wasn't any fluke judgment. The way the angle of the ground was, it gave him a good opening to the goal.
Yes, you're right there, Ray, and the angle was deceptive, but there was plenty of air there, and Harvey kicks his 4th goal, and Essendon really taking hold here now. I don't know why anyone had bet against them today. 15-7, 97, St Kilda 7-7, 49, and we've played 8 minutes of this quarter, set being the 3rd quarter. Side bottom's gone to full forward.
Well, actually, my bookmaker, Dom, they call him Hard Luck Harry, so probably that's why I shouldn't take any notice of him.
Just see who's in the ruck here for St Kilda.
That's Ford, Don.
Ford, the centre half forward. Obviously got the hit down as it comes out to Harvey. Harvey sets it up to Rains. Rains going to go long. He does so. A high kick towards centre half forward. The big fella's no one there. In front was Flood. Can't pick a Hawker. Well done, son. Goes to his right foot and snaps for goal. But just couldn't bring it back quick enough or sharp enough. And that's another point. So Essendon 15-8, 98. 2 points off the ton. St Kilda 7-7, 49.
Okay, well, Whitty taking the kick out, the left footer, sending it to the half-back line on the flank. Up goes Simon Madden, and Simon Madden, probably about his first solid mark today. The hand pass to Elshaw, running past and coming out is young Flood. I think it's young Flood has taken the mark, yes it is, and there's a very good debut from the young fella from Nil.
Very impressive, Ray. I watched him in the seconds earlier in the year, and I didn't think, I was interested because he played very well in the pre-season and he really hadn't gone on. And I watched him in the seconds the other week and I thought maybe he's got a bit to learn, but today, gee, he's really turned it on.
Well, it's a very good breeding ground, the Wimmera, for the Essendon side in the last 20 years. They've had some good footballers come from there. And when you think of fellas like Hawker and Roger Merritt, for example, from Conniver, and players such as that, it's been a good recruiting ground for the Bombers.
Well, Flood has just kicked his 2nd goal, and Essendon 16-8, 104. St Kilda 7-7, 49.
Well,
Essendon actually twice. Well, St Kilda, what, 49? They've got a long way to go to make up that deficit, 104.
Well, the Bombers taking control now, and I thought St Kilda might give them a little bit more run for their money as Harvey swoops out of the centre. Ezard at the back. Oh, he pulled it in! Oh, great mark, Ezard! And he runs on, has a shot for goal, could be offline. Clark, no. Oh, gee, Don, is his Paulson marks in for a little rover or not?
Well, that was the magnificent mark, probably the mark of the day.
And judgment, Don. The ball comes out. Up the back, can't take it, is Spencer. Falls on the ball, traps it. As Burns goes over, good play Spencer. He's got the running Elshaw. Elshaw steadies, chips it across to Nobby Clark. He can't take it, Lamb punches it away. St Kilda try to control it, gets it clear. It comes down to the ground where Odgers is met hard by Hawker accidentally as the ball comes to the pack. Picked up again by Baker. Baker, little pass, who's he got? Blood again. Good boy, the hand pass to Harvey. Harvey straightens up. What's he done? Kicked it across the goals and out of bounds.
Well, there's a little bit of an altercation behind play there as the ball's got to be thrown in the left forward pocket. Essendon's left forward pocket. Flood getting away from his opponent, but it's easy to do that, and you can do it confident when you've got such skilled players who are able to deliver the ball as these Essendon players can do further up the field. Relieving the pressure is McConville across to Clark. Clark chips in. A little centre, and what good play. You can see that this is a pattern of Essendon, because we've seen on a number of occasions their players could have had shots for goal, but have actually screwed the ball back into the centre, and the Essendon players can run to the centre with confidence, knowing that the ball will come to them. Now we see Harvey lining up. Harvey's kicked 4 goals. Very good player in the second quarter. Kicked a magnificent goal previously. The ball on its way. We'll just wait on the umpire, and he really kicks the hard ones and the easy ones. That was an easy shot, really. He put it through for a point. So 105 playing 49. 13 minutes of this third quarter as Whitty kicks out the outer flank. Frawley, number 24. Elphingston lending assistance. Frawley breaks the tackle, goes onto the right foot, now goes long in towards centre half forward. He ran a long way. The umpire said play on. Walsh moved back to full back now. Whitten now at centre half back. There's Whitten. He's supposed to be picking up Gamble. Putting on the pressure is Peter Budge. Whitten picks up across to Hawker. Now Essendon's trying to run the ball, change direction of play. Hawker's got a ton of time, there's not much pressure. And then finds 2 Essendon players, and taking the ball is Neil Clark.
Neil Clark sends Essendon forward. Harvey over the back, and it will be a mark to Whitty. Young Whitty has been paid the mark.
And has played well today, Ray.
Haven't seen him play a bad game this year, Don, as Whitty sends it out to Robbie Elphingston, and Elphingston make the break, but couldn't take a good play from Elshaw. Gets the flick out there. Should have been a trick play to Clark. Elshaw's got the time to steady. Runs into the goal. Has a shot for goal. He's offline and will kick a point. So Essendon 16-10, 106. Leading St Kilda 7-7-49. And the Saints haven't got off that score at the 14-minute mark. St Kilda haven't added to the score since half-time. And Essendon have kicked 3 goals for.
Andrew Jobling about to come on. We'll just see who's going to come off for St Kilda. Out in that outer wing. St Kilda run the ball down. Frawley goes in towards centre half forward again. A nice looking kick off the boot. In front is Waterson, and takes a very good mark. Chris Waterson has come into for the injured Gary Foles. Foles, who was named in the sign, couldn't line up, and Waterson started on into change bench as Peter Budge punches down to Barker. Barker also been a good player, and what a lovely kick. Well done, Peter Budge. That's attacking play to hit down as he did across to Trevor Barker. And Barker, who's played a very, very solid and serviceable game for St Kilda, probably his best for a long time, kicks St Kilda's 8th goal. Essendon 16-10, 106. St Kilda 8-7, 55, 15 minutes of this third quarter.
Well, the St Kilda side certainly looking down the barrel at the moment with they're trailing by 55, 56 points. And the Bombers have got control of the game. And players like Harvey, he's looked at his game today, because Essendon have got a few key forwards out, Vanderhaar, Danaher and Salmon, to name a few. And it's good to see Mark Harvey chipping in, and that's the strength of this Essendon side. They've got so many players that can play well, and it should be a Freedom Madden then, I think. Although, would it be, no, wasn't shepherding the ruck.
Alistair pulled it off, and Whitty's gone to centre half back and Jobling to full back.
Well, Waterson swoops him forward. Merritt, and Roger Merritt just takes an easy mark, and well played Waterson. He saw the leading Merritt coming out, and young Whitty, as Don said, is doing a good job, but the weight of numbers is probably all get against these defenders of St Kilda, is coming down there so often in this third quarter. So Roger Merritt, the Victorian captain, taking his time as he normally does, thorough in his kicking action, but offline this time, unusual for Roger, and puts it through for a point. So Essendon move on to 107. Leading St Kilda 55, third quarter at the pro football game at Windy Hill.
Well, the wind has dropped. There was a factor early on. It was favouring the end to which Essendon are kicking. But the sun's come out, and the spectators really enjoying this day as just picking up that player. Is that Frawley? Yes, it is. Frawley from centre half back goes in towards the centre. In front side bottom, he ducks his head again. He can't lift his eyes. Madden runs over. That's mobility for you for a big fellow. Wood, Cass fumbles at the crucial time there. The ball on the ground. Madden butters up again. Over to Whitten. Barker in there, the captain. Tackled, and that's a free kick to Trevor Barker against Brian Whitten. He didn't have the ball. It Everybody else could see it. So much good arguing with the umpire. That was a lay-down misère.
Well, Trevor Barker, the captain, as Don said's played a good game today. His experience is showing out in this inexperienced St Kilda side. Down forward, Hurd hasn't been in the play much, but probably he's doing a minding role somewhere out there as it's kicked out by Baker. St Kilda have got the opportunity as it looks like a gamble. He can't pick it up. Grant giving him support. Now he straightens up on the right foot and sends it deep into the forward pocket, but will be offline, and I would say it's over the line and out of bounds on the full. So at the 17-minute mark, Essendon 107 leading St Kilda 55 on the Pro Football scoreboard, as I think young Dwyer, or was it Simon Madden not coming across his mark?
He tried to run around his mark or not kick over his mark. He's got to kick over his mark, although it's a little bit difficult from that position. Madden sends a high ball out to the outer wing there. In front is Duckworth, can't bring the ball down. Coming back on quickly is Baker, looks for the handball, finally finds someone, finds that runner in Hawker. Hawker now with a paddock in front, looks for Merritt, and he'll find him, I think. No, well done, young Whitty. He butters up quickly, showing a lot of courage there by trying to get that front position. He did, not as big as Merritt, but got another free kick. Another nice kick off the boot from Whitty. As the game goes on, his kicking's getting better. Winton very quick onto the ball, probably the best man on the ground for mine, and finds Merritt. Winton playing at centre half back. Merritt quickly onto Winton, and that's what good running is all about. And Winton, if you can set this goal up, it's yours. Hawker, he's got, what can he do? There it is. Easy stuff. That's schoolboy stuff. Well done, Brian Winton. Glenn Hawker kicks Essendon's 17th goal.
A good play from Winton, and that makes Essendon 17-11-100, and just to get the scoreboard, he's getting away from me. I think it's 113, leading St Kilda 8-7-55, coming up to the 20-minute mark. And as Don said, Brian Winton, the ex-Richmond player, has been at the club since 1983 and hasn't established himself as a senior player as yet.
The goal kickers rate for Essendon, Ezzard has 4 and Harvey 4, 2 to Flood, Hawker, 1 each to Wood, Clark, who has also gone off, and Clark is all right. Spencer. For the Saints, we have 2 to Kane Taylor, 2 to Trevor Barker, 1 to Elphingston, and 1 to Foschini as Narkle has the ball.
Well, Phil Narkle sends it through the centre. Keel couldn't hold it. Barker working hard at the half-forward line. A sign bottom. He's got Taylor. Taylor was a good player in the first half. Goes to the ball with Simon Madden. Gets around. Good tackle, Simon Madden. Great tackle, Simon Madden. And that's the skill of an experienced
Well, that's a
player.
fantastic tackle. If you watch that, Madden kept his eyes on his hips. The hips are the things that don't move. You don't look at a player's eyes, you look at their hips, and that's what Simon Madden went for. As we see here, Brenton Phillips warming up. We'll just wait on the Essendon player as the ball goes up on the half-forward line for Essendon. And coming through and patting the ball off the ground is Darren Hodges, and it beats Glenn Hawker over the line as we see Neil Clark going off and Brenton Phillips, the former North Adelaide wingman, coming onto the ground.
Well, Neil Clark limping early in the first quarter, but has played the game out so far, and I think he's just coming off to give Phillips a run. As Shane Hurd shakes him off. Good play, though, from number 51, Lamb, and he's worked hard. Play the advantage drill, and he has, umpire, as young Peter Budd sends it down to centre-half forward, but Brian Wood will mark at the centre-half back position for Essendon to stem the tide. So Wood and Barker, 2 veterans. Well, I don't know. He gave it back. I suppose you've got to give it back.
But he threw it up in the air, Ray, and that's holding up play. That's an old trick, and Barker should have been aware of that.
Okay, Brian Wood sending it to centre of the ground on the wing. Merritt flicks it over the back. Coming in as young Dwyer. Players' balls fall on it, and it will be a ball up at the centre wing position. And the Pro scoreboard reads Essendon 113, leading St Kilda 55, and the Bombers well on top here at Windy Hill.
Well, we've played 20 minutes of this third quarter. Merritt to do the ruck work against side bottom. Merritt, good play. Peter Budge, a really impressive young player. He gets a hurried kick out onto the wing. Will it beat the players over the line? No, it stays in. Barker, well done, Trevor Barker. Across to Darren Hodges. Hodges, another hand pass. Keel, and Hodges copped one for his trouble. On quickly goes the ball. And the umpire saw that. I don't know whether that was reportable as Gamble takes the mark at centre-half forward. Now Frawley, it's on behind play here. The umpires are right on the spot as the ball goes into the forward pocket. We'll stay with the play. Ray, if you can keep your eye on what's going on as Grant takes the kick and is only 20 metres out from goal.
Well,
and on a slight angle, and the players just looking back behind there. All started because Hodges copped one behind play, and then Frawley came in 1 and 2, and now they're still pushing and shoving as Grant lines up for his goal. Well, there it's on its way, and St Kilda's 9th goal, kick from David Grant, and St Kilda a little bit closer. They've still got the job in front of them, like the boy with the wheelbarrow. St Kilda, Essendon 17-11, 113. St Kilda 9-7, 51, and we've played 22 minutes into this third quarter, and that was Grant's first goal.
Yeah, actually, Simon Madden was the fellow there, but Simon, a fair footballer, he put his hands in the air and said all I did was bump him, but a couple of St Kilda players thought it wasn't fairly done, and that's what that little bit of an incident was then behind the play. So anyway, Roger Merritt's got the free kick, he's on the ball, and the ruckus. Hurd gets the hand pass to him. Phillips, bad hand pass. Was lucky maybe to get the free, but it's been paid on the neck, and Brendan Phillips, the ex-South Australian, shoots it to the pocket. Leading out is Flood, but coming out with him is Jobling, gets underneath the ball, and it goes over the line and out of bounds in the forward pocket. Well, the sun is out here at Windy Hill and not much wind, and actually it's now ideal for football. A little bit of moisture that we had yesterday, the ground's nice and soft, and the players well, not getting harmed by the hard ground conditions we had early in the year. As St Kilda now send it back to the centre wing. We've got Frank Donnell, and Frank Donnell, a good player for us. And to Duckworth, no reason why handball, but he's trying to get the players running as Rains. Back to Frankie Donnell. Frank's got Brian Wood across there if he wants him, but chipping in is Hawker. Good place in Kilda. That was the player of... trying to pick that player up. It's 22, John Peter Budge. Narkle. Oh, been caught a lot today, Phil Narkle. And Budge backs him up and sends it over to Hodges. With him is Wood. Coming through is Gamble. Could be no play on. Hodges. No play on, says the umpire. As Brian Whitten picks it up and playing a good game today. A little chip pass, but coming across is Peter Budge. What a good football this young fella is. But Brian Whitten having a good day, and he said, I took that mark, umpire, but he's not being paid it, and will go out of bounds in front of that commentary box.
Well, it is. Peter Budge, number 22 on the left of the screen, is a very, very impressive junior, and let's hope he can really go on in football.
Well, we've got two, Don, Whitty and Peter Budge, both good footballers.
That was Budge again, who got a quick soccer kick-off, and the ball will go over the boundary line in front of Brian Wood. Number 1, Trevor Barker, also played a very solid and serviceable game today. Doing the ruck work will be Winton with side bottom. No, Trevor Spencer, I should say, number 23. Frawley, 24, running for the ball. Can't pick it up, trips over the crucial time, follows up well, gets it across to Hodges. Hodges, a real goer, the St Kilda vice-captain. Across to David Grant, who kicked their last goal. Grant will have to go for home, he does so, but good smother by Brian Wood. Winton across to Wood. And Winton's played a very, very good game. Set up a number of goals. As Wood goes into a centre-half forward, over the players' heads. Coming through there is Jobling. He's tackled by Flood. The umpire his play on and comes to Spencer. Spencer a high kick in the full forward position. Lamb 51 can't butter. There it is, Azard, who's been a very, very good player. But no, everybody appealing for the free kick, and the umpire said play on. It's good tackle by the Essendon player. Picked up by Baker. Another good tackle by Hodges. Hodges picks the ball up. Now looking up further up the ground. A little chip in, and who's he found? David Graham. David Graham elects to play on. Lifts the head, goes long in towards centre-half forward, but there's no one at home there. There's Kevin Walsh, and Kevin Walsh traps an easy ball. Number 30, Jeff Leake's old number. He goes out long to Rains. Rains a little chip, and Duckworth all by himself. This is kid stuff. There's no one around. There is no pressure. Billy, kick yourself. A goal. He goes for goal. What's he done with it? He's kicked a goal. What an easy goal. There was no one around. Duckworth had plenty of time, too steady, and that's good play from the backman. As he's kicked Essendon's 18th, 18-11, 119. St Kilda 9-7, 61, 25 minutes gone, and needless to say, the game is really slipping away from St Kilda.
Well, I think it slipped away, Don. 58-point lead to the Bombers, and the St Kilda side this quarter's gone back to their old habits. The skills are not there, and they're not backing one another up. They're not minding their men, and Essendon haven't really had a good last few weeks, but they're certainly doing it on the bit here at the moment at Windy Hill. As side bottom, Hurd goes with him, and I think you'll find it'll be a free kick to side bottom. So Alan side bottom, he's got the running Frawley coming behind, sending it out there, and it's young Peter Budge again, kicking it up in the air and over the line out of bounds. Well, you can't blame Peter Budge, because I tell you what, if St Kilda had 18 other goers like this fella, they'd be a bit closer to the Essendon score, Don.
Yes, Peter Budge, as we mentioned.
Waterson sends it up the back, punched away by Sidebottom. Baker, the running Hawker. Hawker's got time to look. Leading out is Flood. And Harvey had mucked him up then, didn't realise, not talking. So St Kilda got a chance. Narkle, could have been a trip, no. Comes out to Whitty. Whitty kicks it back, Baker. Baker, little pass over to Harvey, and Harvey's taken the mark in the forward line across to Elshaw. Bad pass. Robbie Elphinson coming in and taking the mark. Well, I wouldn't say they're Lairising Essendon.
Well, the Wooden's not far from it, let me tell you, Ray. As Sidebottom gets the ball, finds Burns. What a shocking hand pass. That's the difference between the sides. When Essendon hit the ball, it goes to someone. You can see there Sidebottom had plenty of time. A shocking handball and taking a good mark and moved up onto the forward line is Peter McConville. McConville getting away from Walsh then. And the difference between the two sides is just the skill factor. As McConville, 45 metres out for goal, a beautiful kick off the boot and straight through the centre. Peter McConville's kick, St Kilda's 9th goal. Essendon 18-11, 119. St Kilda 10 goals, 7, 67, and we're playing time on in this third quarter.
Well, Peter McConville's been mostly used in the back line since he came across from Carlton, but played a lot of football, and I think he may have played in the grand final side of full forward. Don, you may correct me if I'm wrong there, but I know he played in a couple of premiership sides for the Blues, so his experience has gone down to full forward because Tony Lockett hasn't taken much part in the game since early in the first quarter. So the Bombers 119 to St Kilda 67 on the pro football scoreboard, as it's a Sidebottom. Barker played a good game all day. Gamble punched out by Winton, another good player. Wood, been a good player since he's been on. Elshaw, what's his options? He's got Harvey, but not a good kick. But yes, coming through to give the breaks is Odgers. Odgers chips it over, and the running Burns coming through though is Keel. Hand pass across to that player is Grant. Punched away from Winton. Donnell, handballs anywhere. Kane Taylor, very quiet. He should get this handball for Sheeny, another quiet player. Sheeny straightens up and puts it right through the middle. An easy goal to St Kilda, and St Kilda's 11th. So that takes them on to 11 goals, 7, 73. Trailing Essendon 18-11, 119, and coming up the 30-minute mark of the third quarter at Windy Hill.
Well, Silvio Ficini certainly knows where the goals is. He's kicked his second goal. And he does his best work up around forward here as the sun, you can see the sun there, very bright at the moment. And this is footballers don't like playing in conditions such as this when the sun's shining directly into your eyes, as Essendon are kicking with the sun. In other words, the sun is in their eyes. They're kicking to the left of their screen, the sun shining from the right. As Hawker gets a quick kick and he goes down, and I think the umpire is going to play the advantage further down the ground. Hawker received a little bit of attention there as he delivered the ball. The umpire believed it warranted a free kick. Now Essendon chipped the ball in. Rowing there is Merritt. Niku pushes the St Kilda player out. Jobley gets tackled and he will get the free kick a little too high. So Andrew Jobley has come on and playing at full-back now for St Kilda. Graham Jelly made a number of moves today. You couldn't say that Jelly hasn't tried to arrest the situation that St Kilda are in by not making any moves. He's made thousands of trying to keep up with him. A job in its own. As the ball's towards centre half forward, there's Hurd. Gets tackled as he gets his handball away. Coming over the top of it is Brenton Phillips. Over to Jeff Rains, obviously playing on the wing. 54 there is Taylor. He ducks Taylor and gets legged, and Jeff Rains will take the free kick. Plays on quickly. The chip, and who's he found? Is that Trevor Spencer? No, it's going back, and Rains will have to kick over his mark. Now another little chip. Kevin Walsh has said this is a little bit farcical, really. Essendon can do really what they like as Walsh gets the handball back. Now in towards centre half forward, smothered. Merritt, Whitty. Merritt follows up that strength for you around the neck. Pay the free kick, umpire, he does. And Roger Merritt within kicking distance, 45 metres from goal, 45-degree angle. Oh, what a shocking kick off the boot. But Billy Duckworth wants a fortune, and he screams through the centre, and what's he done? It's a goal. Billy Duckworth's kicked his second, wandering way down from the fullback line. Essendon 19-11, 115. Sorry, 19-11, 125. I'll have to go back to school. St Kilda 11-7, 73. Billy Duckworth kicked his second when we've played 30 minutes in this third quarter.
Well, it's unusual to see Billy Duckworth goals on the board, but as I said early in the commentary, was having a dirty day. but like any good footballer's worked his way back in and doing a bit of a Tommy Elvin now, coming down from the half-back line and kicking goals. So that's his second, Bill, and he loves a goal, Billy, loves a goal.
That's a sign of a team playing with plenty of confidence. We can also see the way they're flicking the ball around, Ray. They're pretty cocky at the moment, Essendon.
Well, they certainly are, Don, and they've, kicking goals and doing what they will at the moment is coming through now is Burns. And he pushes his way through using strength. I guess you've got to play. Well, he worked hard to do that, but it went against him as Merritt. Not a good kick. Might come off the way it's going for us at the moment. Would, but the sign rings at the three-quarter time. And a three-quarter time on the pro scoreboard. Essendon 19-11, 125 are leading St Kilda 11-7, 73.
52-point advantage to Essendon. Essendon kicking to the right of their screen, the sun behind their backs. The forwards are like that. Over the backs will have the sun into their eyes. Up high, side bottom. Gets it across to Odgers. Odgers a real goer all day. Burns been really sided today. Should do more, Burns. He's a better player than what he's showing. Elphinston moved to centre half forward. Across to Forshini, and this is where Forshini signs up forward. He's kicked for goal, but off stray for another point. St Kilda's 8 and Essendon 125, playing 74, 19-11, 125, 11-8, 74. And Graham Jelly, really, what could he say to those players? A deficit of 52 points. He's made a number of moves. It's not the fact that he hasn't made moves to try and get St Kilda into the game, but I do think that their senior players have got to do a little bit more. Their younger players are doing a lot, as we see there, Gamble tackle, and he's been a good player today. And Jeff Rains laid a very good tackle. Actually, Rains has been a little bit quiet, came into it in the third quarter, but Rains is a better player than what he's showing at the moment. Harvey, been a very good player, especially since the first quarter. Baker underneath there. Buttering up there was Lamb, a young player. Player a little bit congested now, and the umpire's got to come in. Well done, umpire. He's found the free kick, and that's going to Roger Merritt. Merritt playing in front, played really solid game, has matured a lot as a footballer, plays in front, does all the hard work, and was rewarded last Tuesday by being captain of the state side. Again, he worked pretty hard in that game as another impressive young player, Peter Budge, the young player from St Kilda, number 22, gets trapped with the ball. Wasn't given enough time to get rid of it, and the umpire really has got no alternative to bounce. You can see the number of players around the ball. It makes it hard to get the ball away when that number of players are around. Ball comes down to the pack. Waterson coming through. St Kilda clear out, and safety for first football as it goes over the boundary line, beats all the players over the line, and is to be thrown in front of the Essendon Social Club. Just looking around the ground, Duckworth, number 2, has kicked a couple of goals, named up and back. There's just no St Kilda player on him. Either he's not picking someone up or no one's picking up as Duckworth gets the left foot down towards the forward line. Leading in the race for the ball is Jobling and young Flood. And Flood just can't trap the ball as it goes over the line to be thrown in front of Dick Reynolds stand. What a famous player was Dick Reynolds, and coach.
Well, famous player, as Don said, and Coleman and Hutchison's and these players out of this famous ground at Windy Hill. As the ball falls on the ground, the Bombers been at Windy Hill since 1922 and have won 10 of their 14 premierships since they've been here. So it's been a very successful stay at this ground. As Narkle comes out the back onto the centre wing, but Jeffrey Rains in front of his opponent, which is Gamble, and has taken the mark. Well, Jeff Rains, one of the controversial situations at the Windy Hill this year with his signing, passed it over to Al Shaw, Merritt, Duckworth again, handballs to Harvey on the left foot, a little kick. Who's he got? Up the back, nobody can get it to play. Baker has worked hard. Baker through this game using his body well and goes to grab the ball, but the umpire will decide on a bounce. So 51 points in front of the Bombers, and they're cruising at the moment at the 5-minute mark, 125 to 74. As Sidebottom does a bit of a spring in the air, but straight to Alan Ezard. He was that shocked he got rid of it too quickly. As Odgers, a good player and a solid player, just couldn't get it as the Bombers send it forward from Ezard. Oh, number 11, Burns couldn't hold it, and the ball will be in the pack, and it will be a bounce.
Well, 20 metres out from the Essendon goal. The sun has gone behind the clouds, and that'll make the players will appreciate that. because one of the hardships of playing in the sun is that you do get blinded by it, especially when you're going poor marks. You just can't judge the ball. As Baker gets the ball onto his right foot, a chip back towards the centre square, and there is young David Whitty. Whitty been a very good player for St Kilda today, a young player, and there he is again. I don't know who is picking that fellow up, but he's playing very well, Bill Duckworth. Kicked 2 goals and has been very responsible in a lot of forward thrusts as far as Essendon are concerned. Now Leon Baker, number 4, another chip in towards centre half forward. They're starting to leerise Essendon. But there he is, young David Flood, number 28, Paul Weston's old number. And Flood, who has the distinction now of kicking his first goal, well, his first kick in league football was a goal. And he's kicked 2 to date. He's only some 40 metres out from goal. The ball on its way. Is it straight enough? No, it's not. Goes to the left-hand side of the goal post, and another point to Essendon. So 126, playing 74. 19 goals, 12, 126. St Kilda 11-8, 74, and have played 6 minutes of this last quarter.
Bill David Flood wearing the number 28 Guernsey that the famous Alec Epps, the Kookaburra, wore in the 60s here in the great Essendon sides. And as the ball comes over the line near the play, Keel puts his head down, gets the handball. It looks like it's Taya Lamb, and a free kick. The advantage rule played. Shot across Elshaw, over to Baker. Just couldn't take it. Whitty clears it out the back to the centre half forward position across there, but coming out there's Winton, but a little push, and he caught Ryan Winton, and that free kick will go there to Robert Elphingston. Elphingston directing it up there to the forward line. Burns, Dwyer coming in to help, but he and Wood will get the ball across the line and out of bounce. So nothing changed on the pro scoreboard. Essendon 126, St Kilda 74. The Bombers kicked 6-5 in the third quarter to St Kilda 4 goals. But Essendon just have got that enough ability to staying ahead in this game and seem to be having it well in control. As the players will be a free kick to St Kilda. Trying to pick that player up. I think it's the hard-working Burns.
Been a quiet play today, Ray. Burns. He's better than what he's shown today. He's got a lot of courage, and really, for what he's shown today, I believe that he is a better player, and he really should take the bit between the teeth and show something for these young fellows, because Barker's done well as captain. He's a senior player, and Burns lining up for his first goal. Ball on its way, and he makes no mistake. And St Kilda kicked their 12th goal. Essendon 19-12, 126. St Kilda 12-8, 70. No, we just have to wait. 12-8 is 80 if I have done my arithmetic properly. And we're just waiting on the scoreboard. And we've played 8 minutes of this last quarter. And the sun has gone behind the clouds. There's crowds still here, only about between 12 and 15,000. And most of these supporters would be Essendon. They're very parochial, Essendon. There always seems to be a good crowd. I've never played for a bad crowd in front of, or a small crowd at Essendon. And Harvey takes an easy mark on Essendon's right half forward flank. Chips another one in, looking for and finding Hawker. And Hawker getting away now. Essendon's starting to leerise a little bit. Have a kick, Glenn Hawker. You're well within kicking distance. And Hawker, 45-degree angle. 30 metres from goal. Just a little slice using a golfing term, and to the right of the goal post, and another point. Essendon 19 goals, 13, 127. St Kilda 12-8, 80. As we see Jobling bringing the ball back in.
Oh, Simon Madden. That's one of Simon's. Hasn't done many of those today. And Madden's one of those familiar big grabs that he's taken here. It's made famous at Windy Hill. Oh, coming up the back then was Spencer. Chipping in is Baker again, the hard-working Baker. St Kilda come back through Odgers. Lamb, hand pass. And St Kilda clear it out into the centre. Punched away Winton. At the back is Waterson. A quiet play. No, it's Wood, sorry. They look alike, those two players. And Wood sends it to the wing. Hawker punches it away from Lamb. And the ball goes over the line and out of bounds. Well, the main goal kickers in the match so far for the Bombers, Ezard's kicked 4 and Harvey 4. And for St Kilda, Barker, Fashini and Taylor all have kicked 2 each. Tapped down nicely by Madden to Elshaw. But nice play, Lamb. You know it's Taylor. Couldn't pick it up. Prominent in the first half. Have been quiet since half-time. Lamb, good play, Hawker. Then Hawker shoots it across. Can Spencer get to it? Flood supporting him. But Jobling going in there after him, and with one against 2, and young Jobling uses the ball and passes it over the line and out of bounds in the Essendon forward pocket. So the pro scoreboard reading Essendon 19-13, 127, leading St Kilda 12-8-80, and Mark Harvey, with the attention of the trainers, limping slightly, and Essendon don't need that. They've got enough injuries at the moment as it goes to Elphingston. With Winton and those two players, I'd say we'll see the ball over the line and out of bounds on the centre wing on the outer side of the ground.
Well, players having a little dance over there, a little shovel, push and shove. Winton and Elphingston. Elphingston named on the wing, but has been moved to centre half forward. Winton been a very good player for Essendon today. Initiated a lot of attacks from the back and set up a number of goals. The ball coming over the back, Elshaw. Off the ground, Baker. Now the Essendon players running. Wood across to Ezard. Can Ezard kick his 5th goal? Goes straight for goal. Is it a straight hit? No, it's not. It's a post. And Essendon kicked their 14th point, 128. Essendon 80 St Kilda. We've played 11 minutes of this last quarter. Jobling out the outer flank. There's a free kick. It's going to David Grant. And Grant plays on. Looking, it's a shocking kick off the foot. This is where St Kilda let themselves down. They're just not skilled. As Odgers a high ball. Behind there is Lamb. Is that Gamble? He's been moved. It is Gamble. St Kilda players been moved everywhere. Gamble started at centre half back. Been moved everywhere, as a lot of other St Kilda players have done to today. And Graham Jelly made a host of moves. Ball being thrown up. Walsh, Victorian ruckman, I suppose you could say, playing at full back today and playing a very good game. Madden, Wood dodges, goes in towards the centre. Hawker, and well done, Peter Fudge. He is a player with a lot of future. He goes in after the ball, got a ton of courage, and he's a real hard, determined try. McConville up in front, Merritt from behind. Bushini overruns the ball. Nobody can pick it up. The ball's tumbled out. Players throw themselves on top of the ball. And again, the umpire has got no alternative but to come in and ball up. 30 metres out from the St Kilda goal. We've played 12 minutes of this, 13 minutes of this last quarter, 128 playing 80.
Well, 48 points in front of the Bombers, and the game coming at about the 12-minute mark. And as Donnell sends it back, Hawker, courageous, gets the mark and play on the umpire. And good play from Glenn Hawker. He's got the Trevor Spencer out there with Harvey. Whitty coming in as support from the St Kilda side with young Lamb. Punched away, but Lamb clears it out the back and sends it now to the centre wing. He's looking for Narkle, and Narkle has taken the mark. Well, Phil Narkle hasn't had one of his best days today. He's been in the play, but has fumbled a lot as the ball goes down there. And an earlier mark to McConville with Merritt. Good play, McConville. He flips the pass to Gamble. Young Gamble has a shot, and I think he's put it through. No, for 1 point. Well, that was very good play by the St Kilda players then. And even though they're a fair way behind, some of their players, the younger players, are certainly not giving up. And as Don has said, a few of their senior players probably could be putting in a little bit more. There's Brian Wood, one of the ex-Richmond players here at Windy Hill, with Brian, along with Brian Whitten and Jeff Rains. And certainly quite a few of the Richmond contingent here at Windy Hill is Baker. Walsh down the forward line. Elshaw to support. Could have been caught dropping the ball then, Tony Elshaw. And good umpiring, and Danny Frawley will get the free kick to relieve the pressure for the Saints.
Good tackle by Frawley, and Frawley will relieve. Essendon more or less going through the motions. St Kilda realising that the Dubs a little bit in front as, not Simon Madden, Alan Sidebottom gets a handball across to Keel. Keel going towards centre half forward, and up is Elphingston. And Elphingston takes a good mark in front of Brian Whitten. Now play on quickly, he tries to. Goes back, not a good kick. He kicked a goal from there earlier in the day. Off the hands of the pack, it's a free kick against Taylor, and will be going to Roger Merritt. Merritt now at the full-back position, picking up Peter McConville. And that's a free kick and a report for time wasting. So Silvio Forcini has got a front the tribunal, and the report no doubt will be time wasting.
Well, on his epic day, Don, that's probably the only way I'll get his name in the paper, because he hasn't had a very good day today, Silvio Buscini.
No, a lot of their experienced players haven't done much, and that's been typical of St Kilda this year. They've left it a lot to the younger players, and the young players really do need a lead. But the credit to Trevor Barker, he tried really hard and was a very solid player for the first 3 quarters. As Essendon start and run the ball out with no opposition whatsoever, Donnell across to Wood. Wood shrugs that tackle very easily, goes in towards centre half forward. It's a long kick. And Trevor Spencer getting away from David Whitty. David Whitty's tried hard all day, but Trevor Spencer developing to a really good player. Been at Essendon for quite a few years now. A little short pass and finds Glenn Hawker. Well, this is typical of the way Essendon are playing, of a side that realise they can't lose the game. They're just flipping the ball around, doing what they like. As Hawker lines up, distance won't be a problem. We'll just wait on the accuracy. And hasn't been a problem. And Glenn Hawker's kicked Essendon's 20th goal and his third, and been a very good player, a running player today, a link player. So 2014, 134, St Kilda 12-9-81. We've played 15 minutes of this last quarter, as we can see the runner running out to Greg Burns. We'll just wait and see what he's just delivering a message. Maybe Burns has got to be shifted because they're in a bit of a problem. St Kilda. Alistair Ford is off the ground. He's injured, and they've got nobody to bring on the interchange bench. So as Madden gets across to Izzard, well smothered, and Keel kicks up towards centre half forward, leading into the race. The ball is Billy Duckworth, been a good player up there at that full back line. And Harvey in front, supposed to be injured, but he got up, back into play. Baker over the top of the ball, nobody can pick it up. Battled out, Baker chases up again, follows up well. Another strong play, Walsh, been moved. Gets a quick one to Brenton Phillips, goes down to the left forward pocket and beats David Whitty over the line. And the ball to be thrown in Essendon's left forward pocket in front of the AF Shower stand.
Well, the Bombers 53 points up here at Windy Hill, and you're coming towards the 17-minute mark. And, well, I'd say the game would be all over, but St Kilda, some of their younger players have said that they've been trying all day, and their senior players have been a bit disappointing, as Narkle will get a free kick to relieve the pressure from the back. As Narkle sends it up to the centre wing. Simon Madden's got it if he wants it. Can't get it. Will be played. Could have been, yes, a bit of interference to Madden. And the big, I like to say, the veteran ruckman, been at the club since 1974, and has played playing his 250th game today, and been a great player for the club, and the Norm Smith winner of the last year's grand final. As the ball comes to the ground, McConville handball. Burns. He's got the running past Peter Budge. A little left foot chip out there into St Kilda, trying to get it through Dwyer. Waterson forcing him. A good play, Waterson. It wasn't a severe push, just a little gentle nudge within the rules, and made him kick the ball over the line and out of bounds. So Brendan Phillips from North Adelaide wasn't selected in the State of Origin side for the South Australians on Tuesday night. Kicks it up there, Walsh. Belt, Izzard, the danger man. He's got Baker if he wants him, but Lamb comes across, but Baker, Harvey, great play, Essendon, he's made the move, and Harvey strolls in and kicks it right through the middle. Great play, Harvey, great play, Izzard, and that's good football from the Bombers, Don.
Well, Baker had it. It was a 3-on-1 situation there. Baker trapped the ball there. A 3-on-1 situation. He had 2 options. Baker, he could have gone over to Harvey or gone over to Walsh. Or was it Madden down there? And Harvey's run in and kicked his 5th goal. So Essendon a real stranglehold on this game. 140 playing 81. And the players just going through the motions. Ball bounced. Madden, a good hit out. Coming through is Crawley. Tried hard all day. Been a solid player. Looking for Elphingston. Elphingston getting away from Winton. Winton's had his colours lowered since Elphingston's gone to centre half forward position. Up to that stage, I would have given him near best on the ground. Elphingston going to centre half forward. Donnell punches the ball down. Gamble also been a strong player. Lines up for goal. It's a shocking kick off the boot. And no, the umpire said it did go through for a point. It bounced back into play. And Essendon will have to kick it back into play, and that will come through Billy Duckworth. Duckworth now at the full back position, has kicked 2 goals today, ran deep into the forward line. And nobody's really seemed to pick Duckworth up as he's wandered around. Maybe St Kilda were trying an extra man down back, as we see the ball trapped on that outer wing. And the umpire will have to come in and bounce the ball. 19 minutes.
this last quarter. 140 Essendon, 82 St Kilda. Umpire throws the ball. Madden just stood his ground, used strength. Narkle has had that head guard ripped off a couple of times today. Gets a free kick. He was tackled when not in possession. Actually, his progress was retarded, and that was chopped off by Barker and sends it up towards Gamble. Gamble off the ground. That's the only thing he could have done. Brenton Phillips diving. Keele has been another solid player today. Tried very, very hard. And McConville getting away from Merritt. And McConville only 30 metres out from goal. The angle rather acute. You see Lockett walking around the boundary, and that doesn't look good for Tony Lockett. He's got his knee heavily bandaged as McConville lines up. Ball on its way. It's a high kick. We'll just wait on the umpire. The accuracy was a problem. So that's St Kilda's 11th point. Essendon 21-14, 140. St Kilda 12-11, 83.
Well, the game coming up to the 20-minute mark, and Billy Duckworth, as we said earlier in the call, was struggling with a bit of a dirty day, but just shows you players can work their way back into the game. And good play from Bill Duckworth as the ball comes down there, and a free kick will go to Baker. And Leon Baker's played a good, solid game all day for the Bombers. Flood, nice little mark. He looks good prospect, this boy. Over to Raines. Raines has got Elshaw if he wants him. And a little chip pass. Elshaw now swoops around. Oh, it's slow. And good play there from St Kilda. Good play.
Well, that's typical of Essendon. They're just going through the motions. They're chock full of confidence. They realise they can't lose, and that was just Learising as far as Elshaw was concerned, and a good tackle on Jobling. As we see Peter Budge trying to get the ball out. Some of these St Kilda players just don't know how to give up, as Kane Taylor, named in the forward pocket, feed moved up onto the centre wing, gets it across to Dwyer, who's playing his first game. Dwyer goes in towards centre half forward. Gamble floating across the face of the pack. Winton gets a hurried kick, tries to change direction of play. Wood, Forshini, over the top of it is Hurd, and he paddles it out, try looking for Wood, coming through and getting it out was David Grant, across to Trevor Barker, but the umpire said that he wanted to bounce the ball, and does so right on the edge of the square. Gamble up, got into Brian Winton, stuck the boots in, and players descend on top of the ball, and the umpire again has got to bounce some 5 metres from where he bounced just seconds earlier.
Well, that incident with or episode with Tony Elshaw, it shows it's some of the St Kilda players haven't given up the ghost as Kane Taylor sends it up there with the McConville and Merritt. Merritt uses his experience and pushing it out, although McConville's a very experienced player, and well done there by Roger Merritt, the Victorian captain. He's got Hurd, a little pass, Raines getting away from Elphingston and taking the mark. Well, Raines has had a few kicks after half-time, but wasn't very prominent early in the game, and he's a good player, Brian Winton.
Oh, how far is he allowed to run, umpire?
Nearly ran over the mark there, Don. Could have been a bit lucky, and the handball was not a very good one to Kevin Walsh, and travelled over the line and out of bounce on the centre wing. The crowd there behind, probably mostly Essendon supporters, is a fairly big contingent, and as Don said...
Well, they'd have to be all Essendon supporters, Ray, because nobody's really left this ground yet. The St Kilda people would have gone by now.
Well, Don, whether Essendon play a top side or a lower side, they always have a good roll-up
My word,
support.
they do.
Collingwood and Carlton.
And they're a very parochial lot of supporters. They say the Collingwood ones are bad. Essendon are just as bad. Well, we see the ball here tumbled out and picked up by Odgers. St Kilda running the ball down through Dwyer. Elphingston, he's set up, bang! The ball comes to ground. McConville shrugs a tackle onto his left foot. Can he screw it back? No, he can't. And another point. Well, needless to say, St Kilda want goals. The job's behind them now. That's the 12th point to St Kilda. 140 Essendon. St Kilda 84, and we've played 24 minutes, as we see here. Merritt it's Donnell across to Winton. Essendon players going through the motions. Winton bounces the ball, touches on the ground, back to Donnell. A little chip going down to the centre wing. Walsh now up in the forward line, battles on quickly, can't trap or handle the ball cleanly, and it'll go over the line and to be thrown in right in front of the Essendon Social Club.
Well, Kevin Walsh getting the cheers of the Essendon supporters, and it wasn't so long ago that he used to get the raspberry, so at least that's one plus for Kevin Sheedy, and proved that player was going to be a top footballer as the ball travels over the line and out of bounds on the centre wing in front of the Essendon Social Club. Thrown in It's Spencer and side bottom. Walsh again. Baker. Gamble. Good play. Wood. Narkle. Rains in there with Baker. Coming out as Narkle again. Not a clear kick. Putting his head down there as Odgers. I think you won't find no free kick there. Good decision. So Tony Elshaw gets the free kick in the centre of the ground. So Elshaw, who's he got leading across is Baker, and Leon Baker has had quite a few kicks.
It's on behind play again, Ray. This is St Kilda player down, and there's two Essendon players standing over him.
Well, Leon Baker's not that interested.
Simon Madden.
I think there's been a little bit of Simon has been in a few little incidents since a little incident halfway or early in the third quarter.
Well, play settled down now as we see Leon Baker.
A bit too far out for Leon, I think. His kicking power hasn't been good today and not renowned for a long kick. He'd be about 40 metres out, but Leon might prove me wrong. It's an accuracy's good, but doesn't get the distance and will be, I'd say, forced through or out of bounds. Out of bounds in the forward pocket. Coming up to time on here, Don. Essendon 140, leading St Kilda 84 on the Pro Football scoreboard.
Well, both players on both sides be wanting that siren rung because Essendon realise they've won the game. They're just going through the motions, and St Kilda have already admitted defeat. As we see Narkle come out from the back line. Leading in the race for the ball there was Waterson. Over the top, Dwyer can't trap it. Billy Duckworth there, he's picked up another one. A little chip, and will this be a goal? No, I don't think so. They're just a bit slow to play on. Baker looking up forward. Madden over the back for St Kilda players. There's a free kick. Well, Billy Duckworth had initiated another goal, though it took a little while to get down there. He was the one who trapped it up near the centre wing, shot it across to Baker. Baker a little bit slow, going down forward, shot a high one up to Simon Madden, and Madden held his ground and was infringed by the St Kilda defenders. Now Madden some only 8 metres out from goal. The problem or the distance shouldn't be, the distance or accuracy shouldn't be a problem as he lines up and bangs through Essendon's 22nd goal.
Well, that's Simon Madden's first goal for the day, and he's kicked over 400 goals in his career in his 250 games here at Windy Hill, and been one of the great players that will go down as one of the great players in the club's history. Don.
146 playing 84, and we can see the Essendon runner Gerald Betts still taking out messengers. It's a 10-goal advantage as far as Essendon are concerned, and I wonder what he'd be saying to those players now, because you really couldn't ask for any more at this stage with a 10-goal advantage. 146 Essendon, 84 St Kilda, and we're into time on in this last quarter. The sun gone behind the clouds, and now it is becoming quite dark. Side bottom up over the top, gets the ball down. Whitten coming through, been a solid player all day, and rolling on top of the ball there is Gamble, another good player for St Kilda. He can at least hold his head high. And Peter Budge, another good young player, across to Burns. Burns could have done more, traps the ball. That's typical of Burns. Oh, umpire, he had a ton of time to get rid of that ball. And Burns playing for the free kick, got it on the left forward flank. Goes long in towards full forward, looking for McConnell. There's nobody, and Merritt there can't trap the ball. Now, Essendon have got a number of players back there. Phillips runs the ball out, a handball across to Rains. Rains been playing on the centre wing. Now brings it back into the centre corridor. Elshaw, number 14. Didn't look for anybody. A high ball in towards the centre. And taking a good mark in front, didn't duck his head on that occasion, is Alan Sidebottom. Sidebottom wants to play on with a handball. Does so. Back to Whitty, back to Sidebottom. Over to Peter Budge. Budge will have to go long, and he does. In towards full forward. Merritt has got too much strength and height and everything else for young Dwyer.
Well, the Victorian captain, Roger Merritt, taking the mark in defence. And Essendon actually have had 10 different players kick goals today, so showing the dominance of the Essendon forward line as Brian Wood. Looks a bit like Chris Waterson, but it's Woody as he sends it down. Madden, nice mark, Simon Madden. Leon Baker, he's got the running. Izzardi ignores him, sends it up the full forward to Harvey. Harvey can't control it, punched away by Lamb. Jobling coming in to give a little bit of assistance. And Lamb will send the ball out for St Kilda up to the centre wing, and it's been taken by the captain, Trevor Barker. A little bit quiet in this last quarter, and will be, I'd say, a free kick there paid to the Saints, and it'll go to another quiet player in Silvio Fascini. Oh, terrible kick. Narkle has to make up a yardage to get it, but he gets it over to Burns. The running Peter Budge on the left foot. gets a chip, but it's under pressure and it's not good. And Winton coming through, got options. Yes, he's got Brendan Phillips. Phillips has got Leon Baker, who's had a million kicks this last half. And Kane Taylor, we got 15-yard against him. Hand pass to Phillips, not required. Back to Baker, over to Phillips. They're playing around now, Essendon. And Phillips has time to extend. It could be after the play. No, umpire says no. And the free kick, though, against Madden, against Jobling. Well, Simon had taken that, Don, he would have been played with Mark, I'd say.
No, that's needless to say, Ray. And number 32, we see Andrew Jobling with number 32, Robbie Muir's old number. He's always in a lot of strife, that number. And we're just waiting for the ball to come back. And Andrew Jobling on the half-back flank, St Kilda's half-back flank. Goes in towards the centres, looking for and finding Alan Sidebottom. Sidebottom growing with confidence as the game goes on. And there's the final siren. St Kilda, Essendon easily winners, 22-14, 146. St Kilda 12-12.